this season alone. I think this is a guy who can just get everybody's heads on straight and go on forward. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't think
maybe like a 2-1 in favor of Fable.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't want to agree with everybody here on the desk. I want to try to spread my wings and be free.
No,
All right,
I
the match is starting soon, so quick down the line predictions.
I'm gonna have to go with Lucent 2-1.
I already said mine, Fable. 2-1.
All right, Colin, is he out of his mind?
No, he's not out of his mind. There's a chance for it, but Lucent 2-1. They go to Dan, but they take it.
All right, the first game of the day, Fable and Lucent. Dirk and Colin, take it away.
Well, I'm excited for this one. Foundation, what a proper way to kick it off. And you can see we're on board with the IGL of the side of Fable. That is going to be DeFazio, going to be marked already. But the fight's going down towards Pistons and Open, and first blood is actually going to be drawn there by reactions as Cougars follows that one up. But Red Solid is going to be able to trade out at least one of those kills. But right off the bat, it's just a slaying forte being put on display by Lucent.
Yeah, Lucent's going to come out here. They're going to get 4 dead, but the first member falls so quickly that he's going to come off respawn early enough to possibly stop this trip cap, but I don't think it's going to happen. No, they do get there finally. DeFazio now on that cover with a teammate like Fnatic. They're going to have to try to play a little bit of defense here. This is a big matchup for them. They're going to have to make sure they don't let Lucent continue to shove it down their throats on this top street area. Another break comes through, but Fnatic cleaning up 2 kills there, and now it's time for Fnatic and DeFazio to try to push this top table, get across the map against a guy like Fractures who's all left alone.
And that was something that you brought up, right, is that these European teams love to play a map like Foundation where it forces that chaos. You talked about the team shots coming in and maybe doing a little bit of friendly fire damage. You saw a little bit there, the Lancer shots went through. That's something they live with, but you can see the resilience coming in from Fable right now. They've quickly turned it around. They're trying to go for a domination on the other end. You see how much they are investing. 4 players over here towards C. Can they get a break? No, they cannot. And it's going to be Fable taking the first round here in this match.
So Fable takes that first round and you see it immediately. They stand up, they're starting to talk a little bit of smack. If you're Lucent, you can't let that get into your head. They're a team that thrives off momentum. They thrive off of the smack talk. You heard it all day yesterday in that pool play area. They're gonna have that coming in their favor. So right now, just settle in, put down a weapon you're comfortable with, maybe slow their pushes up a little bit and get back to playing your game.
So it looks like over here towards the welding and the fountains, the hammer bursts are going to be placed down on either side. Respawn timers sitting at 14 seconds here in round number 2. As you can see, pretty much even when it comes down to slaying Fnatic, though, just kind of getting his foot in the door with 5 kills, only 1 down to his name. So we'll see off the initials, players are going to go fan out for those hammer bursts. A lot of the fights, though, went down over towards Opens and immediately flew over towards Pistons. We'll see how it goes this time. Lancer shots already going down, making sure they're marking these players, as well as the smokes being out, but they have forced Rep Solid to back up, so now they know they have 2 players isolated over here towards Open.
Yeah, and you also saw inside that cave area, Jack Reaction getting ice broken on him by DeFazio, and now DeFazio and Fnatic have a great setup right here. They're going to be able to push that mid box, clean up that player Fractures who was down on the other side of that mid box, and now come up here. You're going to get this flank, you're going to get this rotation in. That's a great rotation by DeFazio. The IGL getting the call out saying, I need a little bit of help here. I might be in a 1v1 on our own home. I need some backup. Let's go ahead and clean up Cougars, push back across the map. They're actually forcing Lucent Esports to play out of their own spawn. That's a beautiful setup and rotation by Fable so far.
And it just shows how big winning that mid-map fights are, because you just all of a sudden have an avenue to go down towards Pistons if you want to go over towards B. You can go up the steps, you can go up towards the statue, and it's the exact same replication of what we saw in that first round from Fable. They tried to invest 3 going all the way over, but Rep Solid's been a little bit of a sneaky beaver over here. Snuck around, getting some nice damage done with the Lancers. He has the teammate down, but the 2-on-1 is going to be too much. It's going to be Physics picking up that kill, as now they start to fan out over towards the C Hill now to try to lock this one down.
Hey, look, you go ahead, you get the break on C Hill, you maybe rotate 1, possibly 2 players back to cross out Rep Solid, finish him off, but you do not spread yourself too thin right here. You have to stay kind of concentrated, and just as I talk about it, Flames, he's already gotten the first kill, and here come 3 members of Fable back onto their own home hill. That's a big play by them to get those numbers back in their favor on their own home hill to be able to push back off, play a little bit of defense.
Right now, it's a dogfight. We finally see Lucent in control of 2 hills, and it's going to be A and B. As you see, they have a 2 versus 1 over here. It's going to be Physics left alone to fight, but now it's going to be a 3rd player joining in. He's actually going to drop down there too, and that's Fractures who's going to be able to find the kill. Just needs to try to get away with his life. You can see how much damage they're trying to ensue onto him, but he backs up, and now they have the crossfire coming in with the Lancers from Open, from up on their top ramp as well. But you can see, just trying to figure out the game plan of mine. DeFazio currently sitting over here towards top tables. Looks like they might be trying to go for another home hill cap.
Look at that score, though. These 2 teams are really duking it out. This is a big slip the jab moment for both of these teams. The score is very close. No team is really pulled away. They're not forcing anybody to make any quick decisions at this point. And as you look at this overhead map, you've got 3 members down in the bottom for Lucent Esports, and you got a big fight going here on those baby steps by that statue area. Zorko's getting DeFazio, but Fnatic coming in, helping his teammate out. And now Fnatic has to push this next fight with a teammate in his back pocket, Rep Solid. There's going to be 3 of them pushing onto the home hill of Lucent Esports. They're going to go ahead, get that decap, but Jack Reaction, smart play by him, a little bit of an OE to break the other hill, make sure that they don't lose that favor.
And one thing I'm liking from Fable right now too, and it was even happening in that round number 1 as well, just coming out on top of the trades and how crucial it is. They know when somebody drops and needs to try to push on forward, make sure they can try to even up the man count. But you can see now the hills just jumping back and forth between A and B, but it has been 2 hills for Lucent really right from the get-go. They've passed 180 points to the 149 of Fable here, but you can see DeFazio and the crew trying to get the calls, trying to get the splits, but now he's going to go ahead and try to make his move, but needs to probably back up here just a little bit. Not much teammate support coming around, but you can see through the X-ray, one player in the distance is ready to join into the fight with DeFazio.
You can't back up it so much because you got to push. You're going to lose if you only keep that one hill. You got to get a break right here. But great defense by Lucent Esports. They're going to go ahead, keep this hill in their favor. There's the magic number, 207. That's going to be the end of this second round. So a bit of a back and forth, and we've got them standing up. Lucent Esports ready to play some defense, ready to play more offense here going forward. I think if you're Fable, you look at this in between rounds, you look at what weapon you want to set up. You've been winning that mid-box fight, you've been winning that open and closed area right there in the initial. Put something big down there, get something even more in your favor, and make sure that you can take full control of this map.
So this is what you guys are talking about too when we're just doing the little pregame show about this matchup. You're saying that if things start to go south for Fable, maybe they lose a round, they just lose the initial momentum. That is where things can spiral out of control and go completely in Lucent's favor.
Yeah, they cannot let Lucent get probably 2 or 3 rounds in a row because they're a team that feeds off that energy, feeds off that momentum, and that's what they specialize in. If you're Fable, you have to take control of this map, get those incendiary grenades in your hands, and then make sure you do not let them kind of push you back into your own home hill. Even though they have some great setups, Lucent's been able to break them with a little bit of sneaky play here and there. And look at Jack Reaction, a lot of big shots coming out, and an easy kill, though, for Exhaust because Cougars pushes him, and he just gets a quick back A on him. So you're going to get a good trade out there in your favor. That's 2 members down for Lucent Esports early in this round.
The instants were picked up. The player did end up falling, so now Reactions is forced to try to push over here towards C, and he's going to have his hands full. Damage being done there. Nice crossfire shots coming in, but the player's going to drop. Reaction's going to find the kill, but here come the instants from Rep Solid. He finds it. One more player to try to push on, just to try to deneutralize, and that is exactly what it's going to do. But as soon as we say that Cougars falls, one more player to try to join to the fight. Wall bounces back and forth, but it's going to be Fractures finding the first one there on Exhaust, but he's just wasting so much time so his teammates can spawn up and try to come over here and join the fight, and that just might be enough. It looks like the players from the side of Fable are forced back, and that's a great defensive stand coming in from Lucent.
Hey, they had to just go out and trade out. You're still early enough in the round, the respawns are slow enough that even if you trade, you get a kill but you die and you reset that hill timer, that's a positive play in your favor because there's no way they're going to get off respawn, run all the way back across the map before you can get off your own spawn and get back to your home hill.
But you're going to see how well utilize the movement just to try to stay alive, and it worked out. But you can still see the aggression from Fable to look like they're set up to try to get another push here. 2 players now going up to top tables. You can see from the overhead, you have 2 joins to the fight. So 4 players over here by C. They do have one positioned over towards that mid-map waiting for the cross. But now here comes the push. Things are getting hectic. Physic, he's going to go ahead and pick up the meat shield of Exhausted, just doing as much damage as possible. And again, they are forcing them to back up each and every single time, as now Fnatic is going to be the player to drop. Another great defensive stand by Lucent, but now it's time to keep trying to push forward.
The last 2 members of Fable are caught off almost the no man's land. They're going to have to run all the way to the B hill right now and try to get a break. That is Flamesy that does make it in time to get the break. He picks up the instants, gets that first kill. That's a great little bit of a Hadouken for him right in his face. He throws it off, gets that first kill, and bam, a second kill right there for Flamesy. I love to see that kind of aggression, but he does go down. He's going to get cleaned up, and now a possible cap coming in, but Zorkos is going to get called out. Some pistol shots on him by Fnatic, and then he gets crossed out from top street.
So just while so much was being invested over there towards that home hill, we actually saw there was a player floating around over towards bottom Pistons that entire time. But now that they've been able to find these kills, the domination could be imminent, but it's going to be denied straight away again. But this is a big 1v1 going down here over towards B. It's Fractures for the side of Lucent Esports. Needs to try to go in and get a touch, but he's going to have Fnatic, the first player in the line of sight.
Yeah, he's going to have Fnatic just lancer him down. You had to head down in that situation. That's something that you can't waste too much time in. You got to take that 1v1. Fnatic playing that so intelligently, playing the damage game, and the possible trip cap still coming through. DeFazio is living forever on the opponent's home hill, on Lucent Esports' home hill. And now here comes Cougars. He gets shut down immediately by Rep Solid. They are just throwing a party on the home hill of Lucent Esports, and they are showing complete control over that map after 3 rounds.
I mean, it's just always such a tough situation to be in too, right? When you're trying to fight over B, you know you have the control. You can just go ahead and post up with your Lancer or your pistol just to try to do as much damage because you know to push in. You're completely out in the open. There's not much you can really do to kind of dodge, duck, dick, dive, and get past those bullets, right? So you're just left completely on the open to go ahead and get down. But Fable were able to bounce back there. The instant play did work off right off the bat. As soon as somebody picked it up, they got in their control and they put it to good use.
Yeah, and there it is. The classic, put the boom shot in the closed area, make it a big team fight. Right as soon as you come out of spawn, you're going to be heading down for that closed area. You're going to need some good Lancer fire. You're going to need some good teamwork and a lot of marks going out. Because if you're not sure of where your opponents are, you're going to get wiped. They're going to give up. They're going to get a boom, and you're going to have a rocket staring you in the face.
So for a majority of the game, Fable has been the team winning the mid fights. That last time they weren't able to because then the instants ended up going in favor of Lucent. But you can see here the damage that they did. But they completely left the instants up. The first one's going to go out, not going to connect on anything there. But that's forcing the player for Lucent to back up, and that's going to be Physics going all the way back. But these guys are hungry. Damage is being done. They know he's going to be full red. Another instant goes out. He baits it out and dodges it again.
He doesn't just dodge it, he played him like a fiddle. He knew he was going to throw the first one. He rolled to the side. He then came up. He let him go ahead and try to get that slap shot off and then just walked right up on his corner and took him downtown.
So we can see here now, the boom shot is going to go out. Done some damage there to the player, but the domination they have it in mind early. 2 more players for Lucent, 1 more joining from that backside, but you can see the pinch that's starting to form from DeFazio. He's allowing his teammates to try to fight this one. 3 versus 4, the numbers are in favor of Lucent, and they need to trade. Exhausted, DeFazio on the kill feed, but now the players are pushing on in, and that's nice by Physics, just playing tight in towards that corner, waiting for the player to jump through the smoke.
And then a beautiful uplay there. He gets Flamesy, so now Physics has to go ahead, rotate out. He's going to be almost full red. He's going to get his health back a little bit right here. He knows he's been called out. They know where the opponents know where he is, so he's got to play this a little bit slower. You look at the overhead map. There's going to be a possible 2v1 down there in the Pistons area, but a 3v1 there on their home hill. They get that kill. It's time to rotate out. Fnatic, great rotation by him into the Pistons to help his teammate out, keep him in being in a numbers disadvantage, and now they have the advantage in numbers down there. That's beautiful rotations. That's great call-outs by IGLs and teammates. That's no wasted communication.
You can see the 2v2 has now turned into a 2v1 after DeFazio kill over here by T. 3 versus 1, no way you're going to win that one, and that's another kill. Instants now have been picked up there by Fnatic, so you can start to see the rotation now form. They're going right back over towards this home hill. The instants out. They know they have 1 player just over by this area. The first instant does go, not going to connect on anything. The player's just going over towards Statue. That's where they have him pinned out, but you can see the A-Hill did get decapped there for a moment, but now it's going back in favor of Fable Esports.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie. These rotations from Fable have kept Lucent Esport off their back foot the entire round. They're fighting to just keep their home hill. They are not even to catch a breath, get a halfway across the map, be able to solidify any kind of footing into this map. These rotations have been perfect. These teammates are playing together. They're trusting each other. They're making sure they help one another out. But Physics with the respawned boom shot can change the entire complexity of this map.
And I think a big talking point about this too, right, is that a lot of these elite teams, if you give them a second chance, say if they're about to triple cap you, you get a great defensive hold. If you give them another chance, they usually win the game. But you can just see Lucent is just perfectly fine with being on the back foot. They keep trying to push on forward, but the score of what it stands, they'd have to go for a triple cap to win in this situation.
Yeah, and here you go, Fnatic all the way down to that B hill. I think he was waiting to try to fire that boom, get a little bit of a Hail Mary going on from the up top street area. He doesn't connect, so that triple cap's not going to come in yet. The A hill also being decapped. All they need to do is just get some points. As soon as they cap the A hill, that's going to send a member of Lucent flooding back toward Rep Solid. Rep Solid now, if he can hold on to the A hill for about 5 or 6 more seconds, I think that could spell demise in this round and go up 3-1 for Fable.
It's just a huge 1 versus 1 right here because they don't have any other hole. Just trying to do his best to decap. That's a big 1 versus 1. Rep Solid comes out on top, and that's going to earn Fable Esports their 3rd round here in this game number 1.
Rep Solid had the weight of the world on his shoulders right there in the home hill. He had to fight off 1 member of Lucent Esports, and he was like Atlas. He held the whole world there on his shoulders for as long as he needed, and they won the round.
So we'll see what goes down with the weapon placements here in this round. See if Lucent can try to shake it up just a little bit. We already saw the boom shot be placed by them, the hammer burst there earlier in towards this game. Looks like they're going over here towards Statue. We're just going to go ahead and block off the weapon placement.
I kind of don't like that. What it is if you keep losing that initial fight, you need something to kind of change it up. You need to be able to spread the opponent's forces out. You need to make a decision right now on how you want the rest of this first half to be played. And they've gone ahead and decided it's going to be played out just basically the way that it has been. If you're not confident that you can win these initials, it's going to be all downhill in this first half.
We'll see if they can try to get a shakeup. As you said before, initials really have not been going their way down here towards the middle. The boom shot's just going to be crowded in there. The smoke, but you see a 3 versus 3 fight go down here at the steps. 2 kills to go in favor of Lucent. Make that 3 with reactions, picking that one up, and that's going to earn them the boom. But more important, that's going to get 4 players dead on the side of Fable. So now you have DeFazio left out here on an island, trying to win this 1 versus 1 to keep his team in towards this game. Let's see what he can do.
And the Cougars and DeFazio, big, beautiful 1v1. DeFazio wins it, but then catches a boom shot for his trouble. 3 seconds to go. Here come the members off respawn. Great! Incendiary grenade, a double kill. That's amazing, but exhausted, not giving up, not forfeiting this round for his teammates, playing that beautiful diamond cog skin and making it look oh so pretty with a little bit of a slide and a dub kill for him.
And the way that the setup went, especially with the instance of the player rotating, you have one alley that you can really funnel down. You can see it right there by Crane on that left side. He ended up picking up 2 players with just the 1 instant, but Exhausted had a completely different story to tell when he found 2 kills, and that's going to keep Fable alive here in this match. But now you can start to see they flooded through open. They're going over to B. They now have it decapped, but now you still have 3 players to worry about. And that's what you talked about, right? The team kills coming in here on a map like Foundation. Lucent wants you to make these mistakes because they know they can capitalize.
And once you make those mistakes, they have to capitalize. They can't rest on their laurels right here. They need to push these last 2 members of Fable, get them down, get them killed, get onto that hill. DeFazio, the last man alive, he's got to make something happen. I don't think he can do it because he's going to have the entirety of the Lucent team right in his face. There it goes. A little bit of trash talk in-game, a little bit of movement there from Prax, just trying to let him know we're not going anywhere. That's 3-2. Quick stat for you, though. I want you to think about this. The 3 rounds that Fable has won the initial, they've won the round. The 2 rounds that Lucent has won the initial, they've won the round. How important is that going forward? If you're a team, do you talk about that and say, hey, boys, let's just make sure we win this initial because that's the way these rounds have been going?
I mean, it's huge. It's something we talked about even in that first round, too. I mean, as soon as you just win this mid-map, and you can see it here on the overhead, look at the avenues that you have to go around to try to make a play. You have the options of going straight up through middle map once more. You can go ahead and cut down to Statue. You can go up towards Pistons. So every single lane opens. So it's no surprise that if you win the initials, you're more than likely going to come out on top of the round if you just make sure your rotations are correct and make sure that you're playing around the boom if you do end up getting it.
I love that placement, though. They take the boom off. They put fragmentation grenades down. So now you're not forced into a giant team fight. You got 2 different sets of grenades, a little bit of crowd control, a little bit of area of effect. You still want to get them in your hands, but it's not as pertinent as that boom shot is.
So you see now players just waiting to actually push on down. More Lancer Fire is going to be suppressed there at the start. But now that middle map control is going to go in their favor, but Cougars have been able to sleep on by. This is going to be a big kill if he can take down DeFazio. Is going to get away just barely untouched. But now they have Repsolid isolated here over here towards the back ramp. 2 versus 1. He's going to end up dropping. 4 players completely fanned out across bottom Pistons. But the first hill is going to go in Fable. That is going to be over towards A. But you can see they're setting up. They know this big flank. The rotation is going to be coming around from that back end of welding.
Hey, look, I don't want to say anything, but Cougars did miss a couple of point-blank shots. I'm happy he's not playing darts. I'm happy he's playing Gears of War and has a shotgun with a little bit of spread that he can do some damage on.
So we'll see here, just trying to utilize the 3rd person to go on forward. This is what we talked about, the players coming around from behind to try to take part of that home hill. They did have the instance in their control, and if the players are going to be flooded back there, you can go ahead and just throw it. You know at least you're going to do some damage, but they ended up finding a kill in the process as well. Physics goes down, but he's going to be picked up there immediately. 2 players starting to funnel over here by this top tables area. Hill is now going to be decapped, so that's going to be A and B, more than likely in control of Lucent. But here you can see the cross-map rotations.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You can see it on the X-ray. 3 members flying across from their own home hill to try to back up these members where they're getting pushed by Jack Reaction and Cougars at this top ramp area. But that's a big choke point. Right here, you're going to have to make sure nobody's coming out of open and you're not getting flooded from that ramp. And they're going to call out Fnatic, get him down with some Lancer Fire. That's an easy cleanup for Jack. He's going to move up here now. He's going to go up top. Reaction now against Flamesy in a 1v1. But Flamesy returns to his home, basically his home spawn. Basically, he's going to back all the way up, say, let me reset this. Let me see if I can get back into a 1v1 and they rotate out a little bit. Exhaust, though, taking over the B hill, and he's going to push a member of Lucent back out onto that mid ramp. So now you don't have a boom shot to rely on. You got to wait for a respawn frag. You got to wait for a respawn instant. You're going to see how this sets up. Look at these three members. That's almost like a triangle defense. It's a zone bit of a defense. You're going to have Lancer Fire coming in. If you try to rotate down mid ramp, you got Zorkos waiting for you. And if you try to go top street, you've got another member of Lucent waiting for you. That's a beautiful defensive setup, I think.
You can see the first initial smokes that have gone over here towards the home hill. This is going to force Zorkos just to back up a little bit, making sure there's nobody going to be rotating for open. But Fnatic and Zorkos, they've actually spotted each other, but you can see the damage is trying to be done. Insyn does go out over there towards B, does some damage, but the two have gone out, and he's not really going to get anything for it. But now he's just isolated himself even more. Has some teammates joining in from the backside of the fight, but that's not going to be enough in that 2 versus 1. B is decapped, but Zorko's going to go ahead and hop on through, and that's going to be another 2-hill hole. But you see the score pretty close here at this point in the match.
And look at that reaction, throwing out both of those fragmentation grenades. One behind you to make you push up, and then he throws the other one short. You roll right into that second one. That's a beautiful and really smart play by him. He knows he picks up a kill. There's 2 members of Fable. They're down with a third one down on his hands and knees. Can they clean up that next kill?
So we'll see Fracture's going to be able to find the 2 there. Fnatic and Flamesy. Now just 5 seconds away, a player trying to stay alive, not going to be able to do it. DeFazio, I feel like we keep on saying it time and time again, the only player left up to try to make a play, needs to get a touch, not going to be able to. Lucent, that's going to be their 3rd round here on the board as they tie it up.
So we finish off that first half at 3-3. And again, if you win the initial, you win the round. That's the story of this map 1. If I'm Fable, I was taking advantage of rotations and numbers. I need to keep getting those in my advantages, making sure I'm putting down weapons to help my teammates possibly get an extra damage here or there, get an extra shot on. But if I'm Lucent, I continue to put down big team fight weapons. I continue to make that chaotic push. I then control the chaos, and I try to make them make those mistakes that they were so good at taking advantage of early on in the first half.
So we've gone ahead and scrapped everything on the map, changed up the hills there for you guys as well as we jump into the second half of this foundation map. But you can see already picking up where we left off down here towards that middle map area. First blood is actually going to be drawn over towards Fnatic. They do have Cougars isolated over here towards this side. Fnatic is perfectly fine with taking this one-on-one. Going to force him just to retreat, go back towards his home base.
It looks like Lucent, though, is playing a bit of a home hill strategy. They're going to take their own home hill, and they're going to move 3 members straight through that cave area, and it looks like they're going to set up on this side of the map. They're going to make Fable take that E-hill and then play out of their spawn or play from the statue side of the map. This is a good setup for them early on with these low respawn rounds, and it's close enough that you can get members back and forth, be able to rotate, help your teammates out that might get in trouble. I think this is a good call by them. I don't think Fable was expecting this play. That's a good little sneaky strat.
And that's the thing, too, is that if you do try to go for this double home hill setup, look at the line that you have when you're looking at every single avenue. You know with the spawn, they're probably going to invest to do that, and that's exactly what's going to be happening now. DeFazio, the first player to push in. Reaction's going to find the kill, then Cougar's going to follow it up. But you can see just how much chaos is going down over here towards D. It's Fnatic in a 1 versus 1, they're making a 2 versus 1. Finds the first kill, trying to find the second, not going to be able to. Zorkos is going to be able to find that, and they live to see another day. But here's another 1v1. As soon as I say that, Reaction's the person who finds the kill.
So Reaction there. He actually got a double kill and then rotated out, and he knew he would only have a 1v1 on the E-hill. Great call by him to go ahead and take a fight on the opposite side of the map that he thought he could win, especially if he was sneaking up behind a player. Rep solid there, getting a chunk, but getting down. And here now, 2 members of Fable are going to be in that Pistons area. One of them is going to rotate out. So it looks like they're going to have 4 members trying to collapse on the last 2 members of Lucent in this statue area. Reaction, though, gets the call out that one of them's enclosed. He's going to try to win this first fight. He does. He's full ready. Cannot get shot again, and he's going to be in a safe spot. He's going to have to get his health back here.
And as soon as you say that, crosses the corner, gets probably clipped in towards the ankle, and that's going to go in and drop him down. So Flamesy will be the player to pick up that kill. But now the E-hill is going into their control, and that's going to be thanks to the work of Fnatic. As now Zorkos trying to get some crossfire in. The Lancer damage is going to be dealt over there towards the player of Fable. But now they have the D and E set up. The only hill that Lucent does have is F. So now they're forced to try to fight which way are they going to go. You can see Zorkos posted up here towards the statue, just trying to gather as much intel as possible.
I'm not 100% certain. I don't think Lucent can rest on their laurels yet. They're at a 179 to 142 point advantage, so they've still got the points in their favor. But I think if a break at all comes in favor of Fable, it will spell spell the end of this round. And here you go, you're gonna have one big team push by Fable. They're gonna try to get this break right here. They know that they might be out of luck if they can't get somebody onto the hill. There's one more member possibly fighting for. That's Rep Solid, I believe. He is gonna be in a 3v1 though. All that shotgun damage coming out, and he doesn't get a break, so that hill will stay in favor, which will mean the round will go in favor of Lucent Esport. They take the second half early lead, 4-3. I love the way that this is played out. These teams are battling it out. They are just punching each other in the face, waiting for one of them to misstep and go down to the mat for a possible 10 count.
This is just the crazy part about this from what we're seeing is how many times has Lucent been on the back end having to try to defend? How many times, and this is what we talked about too, where you would like to see it from Fable when you look at these elite teams. If you give them a second chance fighting from their home, they're going to make you pay. They're going to end up going forward to win that round. That's exactly what Lucent's doing right now. They get a defensive hold, they go straight on forward, they end up winning.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the big things that people, they don't put as much stock into. They don't understand how good defensive plays can be for your team or how big they are. Not just how you stop a push, but how many members you lose during that push, what the rotation is coming out of it. Defense is one of the biggest part of that game. Defense wins championships, and that right there, we've seen Lucent do it twice in this game already. They played great defense, and they've won those rounds.
So player was able to go by, but exhausted. Fnatic and Flames are going to be down here towards open, finding these kills. The trades are going in their favor. Nice back A shot coming in there from Cougars. As now it's a 1 versus 1 down here on the pillar. Shots going back and forth between these players, trying to connect. The first shot is going to go down, and Cougars is going to be the player to find the kill. So that is going to earn them the E-heal as well. Again, these middle fights continuing to go over to the side of Lucent.
Yeah, DeFazio taken out so early in that round that he came off spawn. He's already over there at the E-hill, getting ready to try to push in on Physics. And it looks like he's going to get cost out a little bit. He's going to go down. Here comes a quick pickup, though. They're going to try to keep 3 members in their favor. And here you go. You got 3 members of Fable Esports on that side of the map, up there in that type of Mario area where that tarp is. They're going to be right here. They're going to push across that top street. This is a pinch type situation, but finally Zorko's in position to try to cross them out if they try to push in on those 2 members. That's a beautiful play call and a beautiful rotation.
It's good for him just to back up, right? Because like you said, you can see where the pinch would form if Zorko's wasn't in that position. They're going to have to completely just pin them in towards a statue. The only option the players from Lucent A, they're going to have to sit there and have to try to fight the Nasher fight, or they're going to have to try to rotate out through middle and try to make something happen. But you can see Fnatic has made his way down towards the stairs. He's going to be cleaned up. Reaction's going to find himself a kill as well. They get him down, and that's going to earn them that statue control. A little Humpty Dumpty for the boys there as Rep Solid finds a kill.
Yeah, Rep Solid now not resting on his laurels. He's going to run right out. He's going to go toward that D-hill. I wonder if he's going to get called or marked out here. He is going to get pushed down that mid-map area. Fracture's trying to save himself there on the backside of that home hill, and look at Exhausted. Look at this overhead map view. You see the members of Fable. They know where the push is going to come, and look at how they've all rotated down there. They're all flooding into the same area. I love to watch a team that's able to see themselves and see the positioning on the map and move into the right position. You're getting the right formation set up to be able to fend this next push off.
DeFazio is going to be the first line of defense here for Fable. Forced to back up just a little bit. They have a player up towards Statue, but it seems like they've rotated out. But now you can see the crossfire actually coming from all the way on the other side at Pistons. So the meat shield is now going to be picked up, and this allows Zorkos and Physics to get a lot more map positioning. But here comes Exhausted, trying to join Fnatic in towards the fight, gets him down, and they are going to come on top. But no, the player's going to drop, so 2 are down. But you can see the domination coming in, so much hectic warfare going down here towards the Statue. We didn't even notice it. They are able to get a touch, but just 4 seconds away. Can anybody go on in? Yes, DeFazio is going to be there, denied again, but no. That is going to be it for that round, make it number 5 for Lucent Esports.
Lucent right there, I actually love that play call. He knows that he has 2 members already down, but not out. And instead of trying to rush over there and get pickups, he says, hey, quick, get on the hill. Get the Mr. Krabs going. Get that gong going. Let's make him make a mistake. And he does. He misrolls straight into him, and he's just an easy one-shot chunk in the hill there. And then you see on the other side of the map, one more member. That was DeFazio, the head, the general of that team. He had to roll in. He gets taken out easy, too.
We do have an update from our Bravo station here as well. One of the open bracket teams, Nimbus, currently up 6-4 over Rise Nation. So that's a team for you to look out for.
I love that team. I said it before on the pre-show. Nimbus is a big team for me, and they've beaten Rise Nation in a 2K, and right now they're up in rounds on that first map. So they are trying to make a big statement here in their first game on Saturday.
So we can see a respawn timer is now set at 16 seconds, 2 rounds away. And if we go ahead and just look at the kill comm, 25 is leading all Slayers in the lobby right now. But the weapon that was going to be placed down is the frag grenades here over towards the statue. So we'll see how much that impacts the fight. As you can see, the players going down. The smoke is going to aid them perfectly. Defazio forced to turn around to take this fight, but is going to be joined there by his comrades. And they're going to be able to find the kill. Now a 2 versus 1 isolate over here towards the steps. They come out on top. That should earn them the frags, and now they know where Physics is at. Damage control being done here by Fnatic.
It's time to play a little bit of defense. If you're Physics, you got to get in that spot after you get that kill, because you know that they're going to have the numbers advantage across the rest of the map. And right here, Physics is going to move up. He's going to go for this break. He's going to have to get it. And Defazio off spawn, the general, the IGL of this team, is going to be the first into that fight in a 1v1. He goes and gets taken down though. So Physics is doing a great job here, prolonging this round, not allowing his team to get put in too big of a hole, and he's keeping it in their favor. That's a great play by him.
It's just been very for Fable, very go, go, go. There's never been a point where they, you know what, they sit there, they slow down, they plan on an attack, and I think that's one of the difference makers, right? You never want to be the team that as soon as you just spawn up and say, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and push on here. If you know you have a team that's going to be spawning up with you, give it just a little bit. There's still a long round. We're still pretty early in this one. Try to pick up your 2v1s and go on for it, but you see just immediately they're just pushing straight in. That's the thing with Lucent. They're saying, we're set up in a position so where we have the crosses, we can do damage. Go ahead and push us. We know where we're going to win these fights.
Hey, look, it's a little bit of an AAR misstep. You've got assess, act, and then react. Right now, they're just acting. They're not assessing their situation. That combat awareness isn't where it should be. They're finally going to get their own home hill back in their favor. But again, 3 members of Lucent Esports are already in that statue area. They might rotate 1 member over to try to help and even out this home hill fight for Cougars, because Cougars is going to be in a 2v1. He's going to see Exhaust being that first member in. He's going to have 2 barreling down on him, but a great first shot there on Fnatic, which ends up getting the kill. And here's Reaction trying to help clean up Exhaust. Exhaust is going to be all alone in that home hill. Will he get the break? He's going to have a little bit of help from Flamesy, who comes out of that choke point, out of the cave. Exhaust picking up that hammer burst. That's a big weapon, because you can tell Flamesy to play up a little bit. Keep your Lancer out, and if you need to, pull your Nasher, but let me do this damage with this hammer burst, make it oh so easy for you.
And they have a 2 home hill setup. You can see the rotation starting to come in. They've gone all the way from statues. This is where the attack is going to be, is over towards this D-Hill. Smoke is going to be out there by Fractures. They've been doing a lot of damage over towards him, but you can just see how critical the Lancer fire is from Lucent. Every single time you see them push into a fight, there's just like a firework of bullets going in there from the cross, making sure to do as much damage as possible. But this is what we talk about, slowing things down, waiting for the push. This is what has been the difference maker for Lucent in this game. You can see the 2 players actually over here towards D, Fnatic and Repsolid. You do have a player there over towards the bottom of the map, just waiting for this push, but the clock is ticking on.
Let's see if this is the first time that the initial doesn't dictate the way the round ends. This is an initial that Fable has won. They now have a good setup, and here comes the push by Lucent Esports. Let's see if they can play defense and continue this whole, if I win the initial, I win the round type thing. But they're going to get the break on that hill there. They're going to have the point advantage in their favor, 190 to 185, with that E-hill being broken. Cougars throwing out a smoke there. He's going to be in a 1v1 with Flamesy. If Cougars can win this, I think that spells demise, and he does. That's a huge play for Cougars, letting him know how big it was. 203, 204, they're gonna hit that magic number 207, and I think that's gonna spell round number 6 for Lucent. 6-3, doubling up the rounds, and they're right here with the possibility to take map 1.
And that is going to put us on match point. And now I feel like this is where we can easily bring it up as well, is that when you say that they end up losing that momentum, things are really starting to spiral out. And then give you guys another update from that game that's currently going down over towards Bravo. Rise Nation were able to get it out, but it was a round 13 thriller, 7-6 over Nimbus, but the open bracket team putting up a hell of a fight.
Yeah, they're trying their best over there. They know that they have a chance to take they had to take a chance to take a mapper off of a pool play team. They needed to make that statement, but here we are. We're focused right here. 6-3, Lucent Esports. Boom shot back down in that middle map area. So this is gonna be a longer respawn round. Your life is worth that much more, especially if you're on map point. If you're Fable, you cannot let them win this round. You can't let them win this initial.
So we'll see Repsolid is going to be the first player to get himself into towards the kill feed. Kruger's forced to back on out, but he's going to have a player up here towards Cube alongside with him. That's going to be Flamesy pushing in. He finds himself the kill, but Fractures is going to trade that one out immediately. So now he's going to go ahead and rotate back over here towards that D-Hill, as he knows the push is going to be coming in for bottom Pistons, but he's going to have his hands full. 2 versus 1. Damage has been done, and Defazio finds himself the kill. And here comes Zorkos trying to push on in. But now this is where they're in a proper position. They got D, they got E, but now someone just needs to try to make their way over towards F if they try to go for that triple cap. But it is close. They do have the frags put putting it to you straight away. Hammerburst has been picked up 3 seconds away from domination, and what a way to bounce back for Fable Esports.
Yeah, they won that initial and they pushed their advantage early. They got some good shots on quickly, and they did not rest on their laurels. They went ahead, pushed in. They made sure that they continued to push that wall forward and forward, setting up a great barrier, played defense right there on some respawns. One member of Lucent getting caught on that cover for it seemed like eternity by himself, getting just shot from 3 or 4 different angles. So now it's 6-4. You still have a little bit of breathing room if you're Lucent. Let's see how they change up the fight. If they want to change it too much, they put in Sins down there at the Pistons, so that might give them a little bit of an alleyway, a little bit of an idea, a little bit of a sneaky play. Let's see if there's something that's called out right here to go into this 11th round.
Just so much slaying being done from both sides. We look at the side of Lucent, 27 for Fractures, 23 for Physics. Cougars sitting at 26. Almost everybody jumping into that 20 kill mark. Like I said, the story of this entire game has just been built around the initials. Who wins the initials, that's usually who is going to go and win the round. Fable won it last time, and they ended up coming out on top. But now you can start to see, off the rip, the boom shot's been taken up, and Lucent, they're getting themselves into the kill column as well. 3 are now dead. DeFazio, damage is done to him. Make that 4, and is exhausted, is the last player up over here towards E.
Okay, so you got 3 members alive right here. You got to make sure you know what you want to do. Do you want to send 2 members to the home hill of Fable? Do you want to send 2 members over there to try to kill off Exhausted and make it 5 dead? Exhausted throwing out 1 frag grenade. He's going to have the second one out. He's going to drop it at his feet. I don't know if I like that play. If he'd have kept on to and he was down but not out, he could have blown himself up, tried to get that quick kill. But now you've got Physics on the E hill going ahead to try to take it, put it in their favor. Reaction there on their home hill taking it, and 4 members off spawn for Fable. This is where you have to get that retake ability going. You have to set up, get your numbers, get your members together.
And Exhausted knew that he was in a situation to where you're kind of screwed. You know you're fighting a 2 versus 1. The way that Lucent played that 2 versus 1 wasn't, hey, let's just both fly it in, one person with a pistol out. They actually went around. Somebody went over towards tables and wrapped down towards a statue, and they were actually getting ready to pinch, but you're kind of wondering in your head, maybe Exhausted should have tried to kill the time, at least wait for his teammates to come up, because that's something that could have been them in the butt. But now the players have came off their spawn, they start to bounce back a little bit, and now they've actually retaken E, but here comes a player trying to be a nuisance. That's going to be reactions. Fracture's going to be closing in there as well. Flamesy is in a very, very bad situation. He's going to end up dropping dead to the floor, but now Fnatic is here to try to line this one up, just trying to do as much damage as possible, but no teammate support in sight.
It's like they can't get the ball rolling. Every time they think they get a kill or 2 in their favor, they get the good rotation out, but this is what they need to do. If you look at the setup, they've got 3 members down in that open closed area, 1 member up there at the tree. They're setting up, I believe, for a secondary boom shot respawn, because that should be coming up here very shortly. They're going to be ready to pick up that power weapon when it comes off spawn. They're moving in to try to kill the members of Lucent that are trying to play a little bit of defense. That Ensign goes out, it misses, no connection there. Cougars with the second one in his hand. So he's played a little bit of an area of effect game there. He's playing crowd control. I like that. He's setting up a barrier for him.
The firewall is going to be down there. That's going to force the players to try to wrap in through middle, and they're immediately going to get a read of that one. Zorkos is perfectly fine playing over here towards home. Now you can see the boom shot has been taken up. They're going to swap those weapons around, so now DeFazio, the boom shot is going to be in his hands. And you can see they're immediately trying to go over here towards this D-hill. Reactions posted up there on towards the box of Welding. One more player over towards the ramp, but now let's see how this fight does pan out. 1 kill does go in their favor. 4 players over here towards a home. They do stop the trip cap, and now it's DeFazio rotating around. How big is this boom shot going to be here on this E-take?
He has to connect these shots. If he misses either one of them, I think it spells doom for the team. He does connect with the first one on Physics. Now Fractures in a 2v1. Here comes DeFazio lining it up. Fnatic, though, moves up on Fractures enough to get that headshot. They're going to be breaking this E-hill. This is a big push right here. This boom shot has to get a kill. Reaction sees that the boom shot's looking at him. A big boom shot there by DeFazio into the home hill of Lucent. Can Lucent play any more defense, win this fight? They've got a 2v2 right here for the round. That's a big kill. DeFazio, last man alive. He gets the first one and it's taken down. All they have to do is cap this hill. They got 1 more member in. Rep solid. Can he get the touch? He will not. That will be the round. That will be map 1 in favor of Lucent Esport.
It almost looks like he could try to be the hero there, but wasn't able to get it done. So as you said, map number 1 in favor of Lucent. They're sitting there saying to them, no chance, baby. We got this win. So that puts them in a good position in towards this series. You can see the guys on Fable looking a little bit disappointed, but sure, they just trying to sit there and think what they can do in map number 2 to change things around.
Yeah, they have to kind of readjust. They have to get back into a huddle and say, hey, look, let's wash that one away. We got to win map 2 and 3 now. It's do or die for us. Let's go into this next map and forget what happened. Let's just wash it out, forget the mistakes, and move on.
I'm pretty upset with how bad Fable's defense was. They weren't able to keep a hill. They weren't able to retake hills. They they did extremely well earlier on in the initials, which is why they won the games off of slaying. But when Lucent evolved, later on in the game, Lucent evolved and figured out, hey, we sit back with our Lancers and hold hills and choke points, Fable's not gonna advance.
Well, the thing is, what I really like the Fable is doing is they're wolf packing. They're going in as a squad. Now, I will say this, they were very good with isolating their fights, but in a situation where you're going to have 4 members and they're rushing that D hill like you just pointed out perfectly, Lucent, all they had to do, they had a 4-man on D, you've got 4 men from Fable trying to push into that hill, and they just set up and they lanced and they downed everyone. Now, all 4 members of Fable, what I didn't like to see is that they all rushed in with their Nashers. Close quarters, and you're just getting lit up. When somebody goes down, you've got to go for the chain revive. If you would have had somebody, at least one person, just go back, focus fire, get some damage. It means so much when you have somebody you can actually utilize and use that, throw that team fire in there.
But could that be due to the low level of play that they're accustomed to going through all yesterday in the open bracket?
Well, hold on, because I will say this, they evolved in that match. I mean, one thing that I do want to say is that at times I saw them kind of getting a little bit of tunnel vision. There's a situation with Repsol where you kind of, again, you've got 2 kills on the ground. Am I going to go for these 2 kills or go for this hill? You know, that was a tough call to make. He went for the kills, unfortunately made, you know, a misroll and he lost E, it cost them the round. But ultimately, I think Fable, they knew what they were doing. They knew what mistakes they were making. They kind of tried to address them mid-game, but it was just a matter of being able to close out the rounds. It was difficult for them. I'm kind of interested to see what the next match is going to show.
I think kind of going off of Veli's point too is that when you're playing teams in the open bracket, you're not going to be playing very many people. It's going to be people who are just like some pickup teams are going to be here. You might run into them the entire open bracket. So when you find yourself in a situation to where you have your foot on the gas the entire time, yes, it might work against those open bracket teams. When you go against a team who knows how to change the pace of the game and makes you playing towards their cards, if they slow it up, guess what? If you have your foot on the gas and you can't push the brake, you're done for. That's exactly what I saw. How many times was it just Lucent just funneling in and then they would sit there, pause. They waited till they got enough
collect
people.
Themselves.
Use the smokes correctly too to create the stuns. I mean, it was almost like for Fable.
Throwing smokes
exactly.
Instantly.
They just threw the smokes and say, hey guys, it's a smoke party. Let's go ahead and push on through. And every single time, Lucent's just having a field day, just getting the crossfire and doing all the damage.
Not for nothing, let's not take anything away from what Lucent did correctly. Every time, I kept pointing it out, every time you won an initial, you won a round. But the one time that Fable Esport won a round, but then lost the retake, Lucent took advantage of it. If you could do something like that here in the second map, if you can continue to take advantage of those retakes, get the numbers in your favor, that's what they need going forward. I think Lucent Esport is going to ride this wave into map 2.
And talking about Lucent Esports, before we head into map 2, I say we learn a little bit more about Lucent Esports.
My name is Julen Portales Lorca. My gamer tag is Fraxis. My team is Lucent. After New Orleans, we need to make a decision. We keep practicing, we never give up, and we just split. I get a new team, French and English, and I love this team. It's definitely much better.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we head into map 2, down the line predictions.
You know what, Fable, I think that they know what they need to do to go into this round, to come out on top. They evolved in that last match. I think they're going to take this map, but I think Lucent's still going to take the series.
Yeah, that's why they pay you guys the big bucks. Yeah, I'm still going Fable.
All right.
That's why they pay you the big bucks. You said momentum. As soon as they lost it, things went out of control.
All right.
Hey, look, the second map is going to be Forge Blitz. Forge Blitz is a map that's all about team fire. It's all about setting up, getting those choke points, taking that control room. So again, if that series continues to go the way that it did in the second half on Foundation,
it's going to go to Lucent.
It's going to go to Lucent. Because you talked about it yourself. They were able to control the team fire, control the lanes, control the choke points. That's a big factor on Forge Blitz. That's the biggest factor on Forge Blitz, excuse me.
If Fable picks up from this, and they're going to steamroll through the rest of their pool, in my opinion, because the fact that they're going to be able to adjust from the lower level gameplay where, you know, a lot of teamwork isn't involved to where they have to adjust against these upper echelon of teams, they're going to do well.
Now, one thing that I will say is that Fable, it seemed like in a lot of the initials, close quarters, they were outslaying Lucent. And that's something
they were.
That's something that Lucent, I feel like there was a mistake made when the boom shot was placed down and they all rushed and they tried to outslay Fable and they just weren't able to do it. But if you just kind of take the time, and that's going to put Fable at a disadvantage. The big open map, going to see a big fight in control room. That's going to dictate the rest of the pace. If they don't win that fight, then I really feel like Lucent's just going to push them around everywhere.
Initials and defense are going to be the key to victory this map.
100%.
Because if they're able to win the control tower and also be able to hold a lane with Lancer Fire, then Lucent's not going to have anywhere to go.
I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, it's just, like you said,
Play for each other,
another,
be a team.
It's another map
Shoot
that's
for each other.
It's way more out in the open. If you're looking over there towards middle, right below the control tower, you just think about how open that is. But also, you win the fight up in top control. Just think of the Lancer spread that you can spread out to both home hills going to either side.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, map 2, Forge Blitz. Dirk and Colin, take it away.
Let's see if this one could try to match the intensity of what we saw in the early stages of that map number 1. Things start to get pretty ugly and went in favor of Lucent Esports. But to kick things off, like you said, we are on Forge Blitz. A, B, and C are going to be the hills. When we talk about the fight to control towers, more than likely the one that we're going to go on board with. It's going to be a nice even spread, 2 versus 2, but you're going to see damage being done down here towards the bottom by B.
Yeah, you're gonna have a nice spread here, 2-2-1 with all 5 members being pulled out. And Cougars, that's a big kill by him. They win that control tower. Now Cougars, he's gonna rotate immediately down to that B hill, try to help his teammates out. They're gonna get those kills down there. They're gonna get some downs. So they already got Fable Esports on their back foot. They're pressing the map. They're pressing the issue. They're not letting them rest. I love that play by Cougars. He is rotated all the way from the control tower to that mid cogwheel. He is just bouncing around trying to find out, get call outs, and he says, where do I gotta go? Where do I gotta be? He gets down for some Lancer Fire there in the B hill. He's gonna be down. Fnatic now, he's gonna be pressed against Physics, and Physics is gonna get taken down. 3 members of Fable are in that B hill area. They're gonna take that over, and 1 member being left in no man's land up in that control tower.
See 2 players just isolated out here towards the open with Fractures. Going to go ahead and rotate back just to try to get as many bodies as possible to try to go for the push that they want. But you're going to see the push has started. It's initiated all the way over here towards A. Smokes are going to be out, but this is what we talked about before. Lucent is always focusing on the damage. They always have 2 to 3 Lancers giving that support fire every single time, but they choose the right times to push there. That is a perfect example of Fractures going in. As soon as the player has his back turned, he just gets the 1 chunk right off the bat. But here you can see another 3 versus 1. Damage has already been done, and Lucent looks like they should be able to take over A here, but no, the kill's gonna come down. 1 player snuck in from around, and that's what we talked about Fable. The defensive end in that map number 1 really wasn't there. It was something that had Lucent's name written all over it, but here they are making their stand on their home hill.
Yeah, they're making a good stand here. They got a member coming through that control room. They got Lancer Fire coming in on both sides of that member, so now Fnatic, he's gonna rotate out immediately. We're gonna look at this overhead cam at B hill. Let's see where they set up. There's a 2v1 in that top control tower. He's gonna have full damage with DeFazio. Great shot by him. He's gonna have another chance for another one, but Physics finally cleans him up. He's gotta turn around and immediately help his teammate. Here comes Big Lancer Fire. I think Cougars is gonna have to fight around that bit of a pillar fight. He's gonna get 1 kill, and he's gonna get killed by Fnatic. So now Physics still up in that control tower. He has a great eyesight of everything going on, but he can't actually help anybody in a close range fight if he needs to get a revive, possibly clean up a kill. He's in a bit of a spot here.
And that's what we talked about, right? This control tower, for a team like Lucent, if you give them that control and you have somebody who can just get the Lancer and you have other players floating around trying to go for those kills, you saw when we switched to his point of view, the sight line that he has by the Incinerator over towards the C as well as the A hill, so he can do so much damage. Like you said, that's one of the negatives. If players go down, he has no chance to revive, and then that's where you just have to have that experience to be able to, you know what, hey, I'm gonna wrap back, I'm gonna wait for my teammates to come off the spawn, just try to kill as much time as possible. But you can see 2 hills still in control, Lucent, but I can start to see a pinch forming over here from Lucent Esports.
And a big possible flank by Physics, but DeFazio is able to fend it off. He gets a little bit of a beat down in his face, a smack, but I don't think it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be too little too late. Fractures has to push in. He has to get a break here. He'll be stunned and he won't get that break. That'll be the end of round 1. Fable finally learns how to play defense in this map, and he gets the chance to win the round for themselves.
I like that. Finally learns how to play defense. That's what we saw in that first round, right? In the map number 1 was Fable was able to take it. They built up just a little bit of momentum. It's actually, as soon as 1 round went away from him, that's where things completely switched up.
Yeah, they have to keep this momentum. Again, I kept talking about it. It's one of those things where Lucent Esports feeds off of that energy, feed off of that momentum. If you're gonna win round 1, you have to make sure you don't let them control whatever weapon placement they want. You have to make sure that you don't let them become even bigger, even better, even stronger, even faster than they were in that first map. They put the sniper up top. They're gonna try to get that into the hands of somebody that can hit some shots, maybe give somebody a bit of a haircut here early in this round.
And now we think about how much more impactful the control tower play is gonna be. lead, just in terms of you win that fight. Now instead of having a Lancer, you're gonna have a long shot that's gonna get somebody down, almost a full red if you just connect on one. Cougars is gonna get that initial pick, shoots the first shot, is actually gonna connect on that player. That's DeFazio sitting at 20% HP. He's gonna go and fall back, still managing to stay alive here in this 2 versus 2. The long shot's still in there, and he's got plenty of shots to go. Connects on the second there as well. He's gonna be revived, but now he's forced to back up out of the fight. Fractures falls, but Cougars, boom, headshot. Flamesy falls, and Cougars swips it around with the Nasher and finds the kill on DeFazio as well.
Hey man, whatever you need him to do, give somebody a haircut, turn it around, give somebody a big blast to the chest, and another one! Cougars, go on, big boy, give us a show, get a highlight reel going.
Trying to connect on the seconds here, he's feeling confident, has it out towards the close range, trying to fire off one more, not going to be able to connect. But while this fight is going on, you can see how much map presence Lucent currently has. They're going there for the triple cap early, but now things have completely taken a turn. A and C look to be going in favor of Fable. Now just trying to do as much damage as possible here in this 1 versus 1. But the players from Lucent, they've been doing an excellent job of just being able to hold it. Nobody's been trying to make a break over here towards B, because this has just been Cougar's stomping grounds. But now they have taken control over towards A as well. But Fnatic, he wants none of it. He's pushing on forward. He's got Flamesy as well to join him in the fight.
Yeah, Rep Solid's all the way up in the spawn area of Lucent Esports, and Lucent gets to clean him up. So now they've got 2 members here on this line. I think they've got 1 or 2 members behind them, so they have to take this advantage. They have to smoke out, move up, get on the angles, get the help. And look at this, Zorkos, he's gonna go ahead and immediately rotate over to help Jack react his reactions in a 2v1, and they get the revive. So now DeFazio is gonna get down yet again. That's a big rotation by Zorkos. Can he get this cleanup? Can he get this meat shield? There comes the body block. You saw the teammate rotate over to make sure if he got down, he could immediately pick him back up, and Zorkos still pushing. There they are, working in tandem. He doesn't get the full revive, he just gets the pickup.
Also finds the kill there, and that's something too that we haven't really touched upon with how well Lucent is doing, is those rotations to create pinches every single time, whether it's coming from mid-map or whether somebody is vesting in going all the way around the map to try to go in from behind. That's how they've had so much success so far in this series. But now Cougars, he's got the respawn again, and then it's back in his hands, the long shot, and look how much room he has to work with up here, right? He has to control the B. It's just gonna be trying to evade these shots, trying to bait out as many long shot shots as possible. But you can see that smoke, that's what I like to see. Smoke him out, make sure that line of sight is completely useless.
Yeah, but 4 dead on the side of Fable Gaming. So now you got DeFazio all by his lonesome in that control room. He's got to fend off, I think, 2 or 3 members that are going to be able to pinch him here shortly. And Cougars has a sight line on him, but he misses that first shot. So now DeFazio is going to push in on Fractures. Cougars is going to turn around. He's going to stand right in the middle of that B hill. He's going to say, this is my home. I'm going to play this like this is home hill. I'm going to play defense on it. He sees 1 member now, Flamesy, moving up on him. Flamesy's going to do a bit of a dance. He's going to connect with that body shot. He cannot get into this 1v1 and possibly lose a chunk. He's not. He played damage. That's a smart move. Another member coming through that cogwheels. That's Fnatic. Fnatic doesn't make it in time though. So that's 1-1. You cannot let Cougars have full reign over the entire map with that sniper the entire round. He got the respawn, he got the original spawn. That's a brilliant play by him, and even better that they were able to know the respawn immediately. I do not see a coach standing up there behind him, so they're having to keep their own timers. That's brilliant.
And that was the thing too with Cougars. We talked about how he was just really controlling B by himself and just allowing his teammates to try to fight for either home hill at A and C. And that was just enough to evade it just for long enough, right? He ended up losing the 1v1, they ended up losing B, but then right off the respawn, that's where everybody was able to kind of funnel through and say, hey, now this is where we can start to attack middle map. But like you said, players without a coach mentally keeping timers in their head, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's definitely impressive. They block out the double secondary spawn, so they don't want to put anything here to help Lucent continue to cross them out. We talked about how big the cross has been for Lucent. They go ahead, they block it out. They don't want to put anything there for them to be able to continue to use against them. But Cougars, oh my goodness gracious, he runs right into DeFazio and doesn't even take a shot. He just says, oh my God, what is this? He gets body blocked and he gets 1 chunk.
So you can see now they do have this top control tower. No, as I say, that Fractures actually won the 1 versus 1 with Fnatic, so now it's DeFazio up here trying to fight for his life. The long shot is still going to be down. Damage has been done to DeFazio. Forced to back up. And again, how many times are they working on a pinch? Each and every time. It feels like every situation when we jump on a player's in a 1 versus 1, there's always some second player coming around to try to get the kill.
Hey, look, I think that's all about comms. That's no wasted communication. Those members on Lucent are saying, hey, look, if I can delay for a second, 2 seconds, can you get here? Give me some backup. They said, yeah, go ahead. Get the delay. Get that bit of a time. Do a little tap dance. Make sure you got to do whatever you got to do to make sure I can get there.
You see Fractures has the long shot in hand and decides to back this all the way up. Rap Solid is going to be able to find one kill there. Physics is going to be the player to drop down. That's going to be another kill picked up by Rep Solid. Now B is going in their control, but they know Fractures is going to be back here with the long shot. We see how big of a flank is just going around. He's just trying to make sure he can play that long line of sights over here towards the incinerator between C and A. But you can see the teammate support that's funneling on through, and Fracture's just going to try to do his best snipe impression, just try to do as much damage as possible at this point. 4 players though joining in on a fight. He's able to tag up 1.
Yeah, he's able to get a big tag right there. He pulls out the pistol, tries to go for the down. He cannot get it though. You see Cougars right next to him. I hate to say it, if I am them, based on how Cougars use that sniper to change the entire complexion of that second round, I'd get it back in his hands. You're not getting any headshots. You might be getting some damage, but you're not doing your job with it. You're just throwing rounds out. You're not getting any kills. You're not getting any downs with it. And here they go. Here comes the push. Lucent has to play defense here. They have to put up a bit of a fight to win this.
And that was a thing too where you say, hey, maybe try to get the long shot to Cougars. That's just a constant aggression. Where we say by Fable, they never really slowed down. They weren't able to get a swap in there. That player was forced to use a long shot to try to do some damage with it. But you can see Cougars trying to be a nuisance, trying to stay alive. The meat shield's going to be picked up. One more player trying to push on in. That's going to be Fractures. He's able to delay the game just a little bit more. Delayed it enough for the players to go ahead and go all the way over towards B. So many bodies invested in this home hill. That's going to be Physics with a sneaky play to keep him alive. But look, the timer's going forward. They have to go for a triple cap.
Yeah, they have to go for a triple cap, and Physics is going to be called out, so he's going to have to play his life right here, especially with members coming off respawn, and they're already taking that B hill. He's going to be pressed into the issue. He's going to be pressed to making a dumb decision. I hate to see teams be so far behind in round point that they have to do things that you never normally see them do. It's so out of character, but that's what happens when you dictate the pacing of a game, you dictate the spacing of a game, and that's a brilliant round by Fable.
A way to bounce back there as well. So now they hold the 2-1 round advantage. That was these rounds are stretching on pretty long. I mean, we're not seeing any super quick triple caps and then the round is completely over. These guys are just duking out back and forth, and this is where the play style is conflicting, and that's what we talk about, right? You want the long shot in the hands of Cougars because you saw what he was able to do in that previous round with it, but you had no time to try to switch it on, because that's just where we talk about the acceleration, just that non-stop drive and keeping your foot on the gas by Fable. That's where it kind of hurt them a little bit, and honestly, it got pretty scary there by how many people they invested. It's like they completely forgot about the B hill. You just left a complete open lane for the players to come up off a spawn and go ahead and get that in their name. Almost costed them the round, but now you can see the Incens are actually going to be put down over here towards the middle B.
If you want to know how close these teams are in competitive level, they've played 14 rounds against one another, and only 7 of them have been triple caps. That tells me that they're having to sock this out. They're having to duke it out all round long. They're having to go for those 210 points, and the initial again being won by Fable on the hill count, but Lucent getting that sniper into the hands of Cougars, and Cougars again giving somebody else another haircut. He has got the sniper in his hands, and he changes the entire complexion of a round as soon as he gets the sniper in his hand. If I am Lucent, I am calling plays specifically for that man. You want to have that snipe in his hands. You want to be able to let him do what he is doing best right now, better than anybody else in the map. That sniper has been effective his hand.
I mean, how worrying is it too when you have a player who, when he does get the sniper in his hand, makes just a big impact right off the bat, not just in terms of doing damage, but just finding kills with the long shot. In that round where we start to see him go off a little bit, got 2 headshots, was controlling that B site, controlling the top control tower as well. They ended up coming out on top. The exact same thing that we just saw there, making an instant impact as soon as the long shot was picked up. That's also, we have to give credit to his teammates. With him being able to get that fire on, he's really that big key to the puzzle, really. He's the guy who says, you know what, if I'm hitting my shots, your life is 10 times easier. You hit one Nasher shot, that player's dropped.
Hey, look, it's like that old saying, sometimes you gotta be the match that lights the fire, and he is doing it right now for his team. Fracture's trying to make plays happen for his team. Cougars getting that first one, Rep Solid taking out Physics though. So a bit of a trade, you're still in a 4v4, getting that Lancer pull out, so now they're gonna get shots onto Fnatic. Fnatic's gonna have to play for his life here. He doesn't do a good enough job of it, so he's gonna be cleaned up as well. Cougars is up there, he knows that if he gets some Lancer fire on this member of Fable down there at B, he can possibly pick up the sniper and get another down, but here he goes. He's got the snipe in his hands again. Let's see what he can do with it. Can he get... Whoa! Baby! He is just putting on a show, ladies and gentlemen. This is a highlight reel if I've ever seen one. He better put this in a montage. I better see it on YouTube right after the event, baby.
Cougar saying, call me daddy, and rightfully so with the shots that he's hitting with this long shot. Now he can find himself 1 versus 1, trying to do a little bit of both. But the slaying power from him has been insane in this one. 19 kills, 6 downs, only 9 times dead. But now you just have to try to focus on getting this long shot out of his hands in some way. You have to try to isolate him. But with how much he's moving around the map, you can't consistently smoke him out. Now, if he's up in top control tower, that's easy. But look how he's moving around. Cougars peels the lid back once more. This man cannot be stopped. The glue to this team of Lucent Esports, where finally he drops, and Fable, they bounce back and they take another round. But no, it's reactions going in and getting the denial.
Somebody better call crime scene investigation, because there's more brain matter on this map than I've ever seen in any episode of that show. Jesus almighty, he is doing his best to keep his team hyped, keep his team energized, and moving forward in these rounds.
It's going right down to the wire to where it almost looked like it was over. But again, we talk about the defensive end of Lucent, how well they can bounce back. We saw the exact same thing there again. How many times have we seen throughout this series so far a team just be... Don't know which word to really use, because I don't want to just, crap all over them, right? But it's just been terrible on, like, the offensive end coming in from Fable. They can't hold a setup every single time Lucent breaks, and it's frustrating to watch.
Well, I think the biggest thing for them is they don't have an answer. When you're taking a test and you look at a question and you keep scratching your head, that's not a good sign. They keep looking at Cougars and they're scratching their head. They don't know how he's doing what he's doing. And there's a big missed shot by Exhausted, so now he's gonna have to rotate that sniper down, try to get some help for his teammates. The point is still close enough. That point spread, 147 to 131. It's still close enough for them to be able to get this round back in their favor if they get some breaks, maybe get a cap here or there. So if you're Fable, you gotta start playing defense again. You're gonna have to get downs, you're gonna have to get kills. You're gonna have to do the right things. You're gonna have to do the little things to make the big things easier.
2 hills now locked in for them. They currently hold the lead, 166 to 147, and still rising. Exhausted, wasting a lot of shots with that long shot, but now the pistol's going to be able to try to do as much damage as possible. And now Fix Crew find themselves in the incinerator. Exhausted is going to be the first player to go down. Rep Solid is going to follow there as well. Reaction's finding himself full red. They've now gone for the home hill, but now they need to have the triple cap in mind. They need to try to make the move over here towards B. You can see Flamesy will be the first player there for Fable. Zorko's wall bouncing, trying to stay alive, but the crossfire is coming in from the side of Fable Esports.
Yeah, and there they are, 3 members of Fable. They're in that hill. If they cap this, I think it could be over. You're gonna have to get Fractures in there quickly. He's gonna have to get a break. He gets the first one. There's the second one. He's gotta get a break in time. It's at 2:08. Now you just have to make sure they don't get a hill back. This is the biggest fight of this round. It's a 2v1. Just get a break. He can't get it. There's the cap. There's the round. That could have been a head scratcher. That could have been the nail in the coffin of Fable, but they're able to fend off that final fight. They're not buried just yet.
And we do have an update coming in from the side station again. Nimbus takes map number 2, Harbor, 7-3 over Rise Nation. So we'll see map number 3 going down over there towards the Bravo station as well.
Hey, look at that, Nimbus 7-3. After losing 7-6, they go all the way to 13. They get that 7-3 second map. They're gonna go to map number 3 now. That open bracket team trying to make a statement early on against a big team like Rise Nation. They've played them a lot lately in the last few weeks, so I think, again, that's a good matchup for them in a first game. It's a team they probably feel comfortable with, a team they feel confident against. That's the overkill, though, going into Incinerator. I don't know if that's going to change the complexion of this map or this matchup. They put the overkill down. It's not a weapon you see that often, but you're going to see it right here. I hope somebody gets it in their hands. I hope we get the chance to see somebody really do some big damage with it. But again, our focus needs to be in that control tower. It needs to be on that sniper, because if Cougars can get it yet again in his hands, maybe look out.
That's like the big talking point of this, right? He's made us have to sit here and watch to see what he can do when he gets it in his hands, but his teammate's gonna fall, so now he's left to fight 1 versus 3. This is a perfect situation you want to be in, but Cougars is gonna be able to find a kill and almost get away with his life, but he's so close to going down, and Fnatic knows that, trying to do some damage, but now he has fully regen. He's completely given it up, and you've given a long shot into the worst person that you can have it in. That's gone into the hands of Cougars, just trying to pick down a line of sight. The player crosses in, he does some damage, the instant goes out, Reaction finds a kill, 2 seconds away from domination, and that's going to be it, a quick round. And every single time Cougars did make an impact with a sniper there, but just them winning that top fight, you see how quickly everybody fans out. They counteract the aggressive play with even more aggression, and they tie things up 3-3.
All right, so we do have a little bit of a flipped on its side head stat. In this second map, Fable Esports has lost 2 initials, but have gotten a retake. Lucent hasn't played their best defense. So right now, Lucent, going into the second half, it is 3-3. It's as close as you can get it. They're gonna have to learn to play a little bit better early on in order to get control of the map.
See everything wiped off the map. New set of hills to go with this one, D, E, and F. So we can start to see the incinerator is going to become a lot more important, as well as that top control tower as well. Just if somebody tries to push into E, maybe you're in a situation to where you're trying to play some defense, you push that button, that's going to avoid the players from actually getting inside that hill for a little bit as well. But you can see fights going down, and that's what we love, these first rounds where everything's wiped off. It just comes down to the damage control, all that teamwork, and more importantly, those shotgun fights.
Hey, Physics had a lot of aggression right there. He was pushing through a big open area. He got shot a bunch, and now he's in a 1v1 with Rep Solid. A bunch of shots going out, nobody hitting, and finally Rep Solid winning that 1v1. That's a big win for him. They have a 2-to-1 hill advantage, and they're going to push across. Look at this, Rep Solid now. He's going to go to those cogwheels, and you see Flamesy here with Fnatic on Zorko. So they're going to get that clean kill right there. And you got members coming off respawn for Lucent. They're going to have to try to get their numbers, get their resources back together so they can make a secondary push on this matchup.
Little Houdini movement right there. Throw the smoke down. You see me once, and now I'm gone as soon as it pops. So Red Solid trying to go down here. Exhaust is going to be able to find the first kill. They're isolated Cougars, and that's the crossfire coming in there. Now trying to work out a little bit of a flank of their own to get the kills. That's going to be DeFazio automatically going straight over here towards F to try to make the play. Player inside of security. He's going to be isolated in a 1v1 with Rep Solid, but Zorko's pushing forward. He's going to be able to get the nice shot there and finds the kill. But DeFazio and crew, they keep the aggression going on forward. But the players are coming up here off the respawn. They're spawning so close. If you find this kill, it's big for you just to breathe. But Lucent, the defensive plays again. Fable has no answer each and every single time.
Yeah, but the respawns are quick enough that if you push across the map, you might not have the chance to get a hill in your favor. You might not have a chance to get in a position because the map is still small enough. You're able to get your members in the right spot so that you can get a defense of your own. You got to make a defensive stand right here. It's 139, 140 now to 103, and the E-Hill's going in favor of Lucent. And look at the shots coming out by Cougars trying to keep Exhausted's head down. He's going to keep him red. He's going to make sure that this fight is prolonged as much as possible. Cougars rolling at him now. And look at that, Cougars hasn't been touched yet. Exhausted cannot get his health back right here because you reset the entire fight. And Cougars down to 20%. That's a big win for Exhausted. That's a huge 1v1 in that control tower.
They said it was smart for him just to try to play the region. He got it, and he actually ended up almost finding himself full red, so he had to back up again. But you can see what Exhausted is doing right here, just trying to play the button to control tower. Looks like a player is going to try to push on in, but does have some teammate support right there. So he's just going to try to lock this one down, try to get as many calls as possible for his team. He can see 3 players funnel in. The instant button's going to go down, not going to be able to connect. That forces everybody to get off the hill. And look at Fable right now, the lead that they have off this one hill, just delaying the time as much as possible. You just have to win these big fights if you are Fable.
Yeah, Fable has one member getting pushed into those columns, and he's going to be called out. He's going to be back there hiding away. They're going to have to get 1 or 2 members over to the home hill of Fable if they want to break it and try to get this round in their favor. Here they go. They got the breaks out. They're getting the damage out, but Zorkos in a 2v1 loses it, so now there's enough members of Fable to play defense there on their home. Fractures finally cleans up a kill. It's a 1-to-1 hill count. He has a few seconds to get on the home hill, but it is over. It is not going to happen. Here we go. 4-3 Fable. Fable coming back now. They're playing like a true team. The map is a little bit smaller. They're able to get some better rotations out of themselves. They're able to make a better game of this, and I think Fable's finally learned what they have to do in order to fend off these aggressive pushes by Lucent.
That's where we talk about how big the control tower is when it comes down to pushing the button, just timing it to perfection. If you know that you can win, if it's just 1-on-1 on the hills, you go ahead. As soon as you see 3 players trying to make that play, it just forces them straight off. But the long shot being placed back up top again, this is by Lucent. They have been winning a lot of those key engagements up there. And like we said, Cougars has been the star of the show when he has the long shot in his hands. He's just trying to replicate that and make a consistent impact every time it's on the map.
There's almost a part of me that wants to see them make a call out and get a big play going, but they're not. They're going to have 2v2 again. They're going to just trust that 2 members can win against 2 members. They're not going to send an extra man up there to get the sniper in the hand of a guy like Cougars. I think they should have, because right now, no, Cougars is the last man alive up there. You get a trade, and then Cougars is all by himself, so now he can get some Lancer shot. He can get it. He can pick up that long shot for free, and here he comes. Let's see what he does. Oh, he misses that first one. He was going for a little bit of a Smiter Man, that mid-roll, shooting the head as it's on the ground. I liked it. That was going to be fancy.
So we'll see, just trying to cut down the angle as much as possible. And look where they have a teammate right there. All 3 of them just collapsing completely on top of Flamesy. But now it's going to be Cougars pushing up here towards the brick wall. Spots a player going in towards security. That's going to be an Exhausted. Is going to miss the shot. So now just trying to play as much for intel as possible. It's going to spot those 2 players. Thankfully, we have the X-ray so we can see the positioning of everybody on this map. But the smoke is down to try to cover that cross for the side of Fable. Just trying to find out where Cougars is at. The shot's going to go forward again. That's not going to connect either.
Yeah, they got a little bit of Lancer fire on him. That little bit of a tick, that little bit of a cringe actually stopped that shot from coming out. He gets a body shot right there. It's not enough to down him, but it is going to help get Flamesy to slow up. Flamesy's not going to be able to push right in as easy as he once thought it was. Here comes DeFazio with that Lancer. He's going to keep trying to poke his head, try to test him, but he's going to get shot on, so now he's down to 20%. DeFazio's going to have to play for his life a little bit. He's finally getting his health back. Fnatic goes down on the other side of the map. Reaction's also down as well. So you see a 4-to-4 split. Let's see what happens.
So now we see Cougars is doing what he needs to with the long shot, right? If he's not getting the kill, he's hitting a couple body shots to try to create some damage, but hasn't had a teammate here to follow it up. And now you can see there's actually somebody maybe working on a bit of a flank from this top control tower side to come through the steps. That's exactly what they did. It's Rep Solid and Exhausted finding themselves in the kill feed, isolating one more. That's going to be Fractures. He's forced to retreat, try to regen, and be ready to take this fight. But now D is going to be going in favor of Fable. So now they are, looks like they're going to have F right now. They just went ahead and decapped D, but they're making that play over towards E. But Fractures is now going to be up in this control tower. Big 1-versus-1 against Rep Solid.
Yeah, but Fractures is going to have some big shots on him, so he's all the way down to a quarter of his life. He has that sniper in hand. I wonder if he's going to backpack it, try to make sure it doesn't go in the hands of Fable. He's going to get shot on again. He has to hit one more big shot here. This is a big fight against Rep Solid. Rep Solid, though, playing it smart, playing the damage game. He's going to see Fractures rotate out. Let's see what Fractures can do right here. He's going to slide back up there, maybe try to make a sneaky play. Rep Solid, though, not falling for it. He's ready for him. 1 or 2 Lancer bullets in. He says, what are you going to do, buddy? Where are you going to go to? Because no matter where you go, we're going to have a rotation ready for you. That's beautiful teamwork. I think they've started to find their footing in this matchup.
That's exactly what I was just about to talk about, is how many more times now are you seeing Fable put themselves into situations where one player sneak up from behind to where you physically can't get a shot on them. So now the Incinerator's gone off. They lock down E. They get the triple kill. That is now Fable with 5 rounds here in this match number 2.
Yeah, and this is a tale of two teams almost. That first round, this first matchup went in favor of Lucent because Lucent was able to control the chaos. They were able to make sure that Fable couldn't get their feet underneath them. But here in map number 2, Fable has done everything right. They're playing a lot better. They're playing a lot better defense. Their offense is greater. Their initials are just a little bit more solid. So this is what you need. If you are Fable, you got to take this momentum and you got to make sure that Lucent cannot get any of it back from you.
24 kills for Cougars. Nobody even close to 20 on his team in second place. 7 downs to go along with that. Having a star-studded show. See if they can continue that momentum, try to slow things down here. But you can see from DeFazio as well, 16 downs, 21 kills to his name. And that is why Fable has earned themselves a lead. Everybody above 5 downs on the side of Fable. But here goes the fights again. Smokes are going to be out. Cougars is going to be tagged up, trying to get the second kill. Not going to be able to. His teammates should be there to clean it up. And it's going to be Fnatic actually getting him down. But Mishil's going to be picked up. Pistol fire going on in. His Fracture's going to fall. He's currently sitting at 51%. He's going to go in and back this one up. The Incinerator's going to go on, but they cap the hill just in time.
So they get the hill cap. Nobody gets killed out of that, but here comes it. The Mr. Krabs Fracta. He's out in the middle of nowhere. Fnatic is going to have to make a move. DeFazio gets the break on the home hill. So now you're going to have to see these other members coming off spawn. What can they do? They're going to get a touch. So now, do you back out? Do you continue to try to keep the aggression going? But a big headshot from Fnatic on Zorkos. He got the sniper in his hand. He was able to get that headshot there on Zorkos, and now Fnatic is going to rotate that sniper, I think, back up into the control room area, get those sight lines, try to get some more damage on some people.
Now we finally see a defensive stop come in here from Fable as well when they only had 1 kill to work with, so now it's time to capitalize. They have immediately. They went straight up towards E. They got that in their control. They got their home hill in control, but here comes Cougars trying to take back his rightful stomping ground. A 1-versus-1 up here with Exhausted. Both players getting active shots, but now here comes another player joining in the fight again. It's isolating these guys, making sure you get the communication right. Which way am I going to go through? Cougars finds himself full red, but they get the player down. He finds the kill, but now you can start to see the rotation coming in. Again, a collapse is almost going down, but right there in the mid-cut, it's a big 1-versus-1. Zorkos comes out on top on DeFazio.
And Zorkos is going to go ahead and get in that E-hill. He's going to have his Lancer out. He's going to help his teammates. Here comes the Mr. Krabs. 5 seconds to tell the domination, but it is going to be denied. That D-hill is going to have a member of Fable in it to stop the domination from coming in, and they're still going to have a 2-to-1 hill lead, though, for Lucent Esports with 128 to 100. You're going to see a big fight coming out because this is the point in the matchup where your score is high enough into that round count where you're going to say, all right, let's make a push. We're going to have to push into a possible fight. We don't want to, but we got a chance to win it, so let's go, boys. And here they go. Smokes out. Exhausted, moving up to the Incinerator. Button pressed. He rolls out. He gets down, though. A lot of big team fire coming out. Here comes the revive, and he gets immediately headshotted, though, from Reaction. No, that was Cougars. Cougars with 2. Cougars, can he get a 3rd? Big shots coming out from Cougars. He's still doing everything he can to make this matchup go in the favor of Lucent Esports.
I don't know what to say. You perfect button push, one, to force the players out into a bad situation. You're just really diving out to the open. They have players there for the crossfire, but then making that immediate impact right off the rip, finding yourself a headshot, getting the other player that was down, and now it looks like Lucent Esports, they 100% are going to take this round right here. Need to get that long shot out of there. I'm going to be honest with you.
Look, you got to figure out how to get that long shot out of Cougar's hands because, forgive the pun, but Cougar is on the prowl right now when he's in the control tower, baby. He's just creeping around, trying to find his shots, and as soon as he gets a little bit of a peek of a head, he goes ahead and rips it back, baby.
So we'll see how much changes over here when it goes down to the weapon placement. That's the man on your screen right there, the one who has been providing us with the highlight reel type clips with that long shot. But you're not going to be able to take it out of there for quite a bit unless it goes all the way down towards the distance. But it's all about just need to find a way to win these fights. You got a couple when the long shot was down there to where you're able to come out on top and start to make some moves with it. But it always seems that when it comes down to that second respawn, the long shot, Cougars is always there to try to get. It's like he has his own mental clock for the long shot specifically.
Hey, look, I think he must have a bit of a soul connection with it. As soon as that long shot is available to be picked up, Cougars knows he's got to get in his hands because he's got to be able to change this matchup. I am just so excited to see how we start out this round. You're going to see everybody trying to cap up a hill. You're going to have this 2v2. Here comes Cougars throwing that smoke out. Fractures gets the stun, though, on Fanatics. So Fanatics going to be full red, and Fractures turns, gets another big shot. So that's a huge, huge double kill by Fractures.
Something Lucent has been doing a very good job of up here in the control tower as well is when they throw those smokes, knowing that the player's stunned, they go ahead and push him. They say, I know that you're out of the battle here for a little bit, but now it's going to be a triple cap coming in. Lucent, they're going to tie this up at 5 rounds apiece.
That's a huge momentum shift. That is a haymaker on the chin. This is where Lucent Esports can take over this map because they live and thrive off of those big momentum moments. Let's see what happens here. I think you're gonna have to put down something doubles. You've already used up that incinerator, you've used up that control tower. I think we have a block there in that middle area. So what double are you gonna put down? You're gonna go with the classic hammer burst, you're gonna put a bolt talk, maybe slow some people up. If I am Fable, I put down a bolt talk. It's a big time weapon. You get some big damage on some people and you make sure that they can't continue to press the issue in your face.
So see, it looks like they are going to be locking down the Boltox here on either side. That's exactly what they're going to be able to do in the power room and the security office. We'll see how much that impacts it. That's the man on your screen right here. Cougars 30 kills to his name, 17 deaths, 8 downs. And you can see on the side of Fable how they've gotten to this point, how they've kept things close and really had a lead for so long. Look at the downs coming in from both sides. It's perfect the way that you want to play it. The teamwork has finally been there for Fable in this one, but here we go right off the rip. The control tower fight has our eyes glued. First smoke is going to be out. Nobody's going to push on inside. Nobody got stunned actually, but now here comes the push again. This is going to be DeFazio, but look at this. They're giving Cougars complete control over to the top to try to get some damage. His teammate's going to end up falling, but here we go. Looks to probably pocket this long shot just in case he goes down to make sure he can't give it to Fable.
Yeah, here he goes. He puts it on his back. He gets cleaned up. So Fable wins that initial up there in the control tower. They're going to get a full 5-team wipe. So they look like they will win this round because nobody will come off spawn in time. It will be 6-5 going into the next round. And while we wait for this timer to count down, let me give you what I believe is a huge update from our Bravo stream. Nimbus has gone up 6-1, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just map point, it is match point. That's big time out of a team coming out of the open bracket looking to make a statement on Saturday, baby.
Yikes, and look how many rounds you have to win if you're Rise Nation. Something that very, very rare to be done. So now we see, what are we gonna do? You can see at the bottom of your screen there, the current score update that we did just read off. And now you can go ahead and try to swap something out here and see what they try to do.
I think they're gonna have to swap out those Boltox. That probably had a little bit of effect on those secondary fights around the map, which is what they do. They put the hammer burst down. So now maybe it's not a picked up weapon. Maybe now they don't use it in a secondary fight. You go back to kind of that clean slate that you kind of want. You're not as afraid of that hammer burst. You want to get that 2v2 win in that sniper in the hands of somebody like Cougars. Here comes the members coming out big time. And you're gonna see Physics pushing the issue into the cogwheels, maybe being a little sneaky. No, he's gonna go all the way to the opposite line. He gets called out though, and big Lancer fire for Flamesy. Flamesy trying to get these shots on. He's gonna try to get this down, but Physics playing smart enough to get his life back, and he gets a big shot on Flames. So now Flamesy's gonna have to play a little bit defense. And look at the positioning by Physics. I love this. Physics might be able to go on a little flank right here, be able to help out a teammate. And he does get a big shot, but it doesn't connect. It doesn't chunk him. He's gonna lose those 2 shots. He is finally gonna get a kill on Fnatic. He's gonna be down. So it looks like they tried to make a strat call to help out their control tower. But here comes the Mr. Krabs, and it's not gonna be in time. No, Fable wins map 2. That's 7-5 in favor of Fable. We're gonna have to go map 3 for this one. We're gonna have to see it all the way through.
You could just see the adjustments made from game number 1 going into game number 2 in terms of the teamwork coming in from Fable. Kind of taking a little bit of a page of what Lucent was able to do really the entire series. Getting on there on the flanks, making sure that you're timing your pinches to perfection. More importantly, playing as a team, making sure you're doing the damage. We talked about the downs from both sides. That's how you know it's a good, tight, competitive match.
Well, one thing I definitely want to see more, I want to see Lucent take advantage of the power weapons. When Cougars had the sniper rifle, it was nightmares for everybody. Headshots, getting triple kills, double kills. What didn't he do? So on Lucent's end, if you're losing when it comes to slaying, you need to put down more power weapons to benefit your players.
Hey, look, you said Cougars having the sniper rifle was nightmares for everybody. Just add an R to the name. Make him Freddy Krueger's when he's got that sniper in his hand.
Hey, no, you know what? And that's absolute perfect way to describe them.
Yeah.
The thing that I liked about Lucent is they put down weapons for individual players. They're not just throwing down a weapon. And, you know, that's something that we saw from Fable, just kind of throwing down, you know, sometimes a random weapon.
Yeah, big time. We're going to jump right into our Bravo stream. Nimbus is up 6-1 right now against Rise Nation with a big upset in the respective pool.
Hey, Trix goes down right there. He's going to throw that. He's going to pop that smoke. Big damage coming out, though. A bunch of Lancer fire from Avexis. He's going to get it down on Force. So Force is going to get cleaned up, but another member handles his off spawn. They're going to get rid of that meat shield, and they clean up Avexis. So now it looks like Nimbus has the point count. They've got the number advantage, and they're going to get the hill back into. They're going to get their home hill back in their favor.
Look, Colin, they've been going off right now. Nimbus has won 6 straight, by the way. Right? They've been making Rise Nation look like another amateur bracket team. Rise Nation, they're going to have to pick it up if they want to start off in a winner's bracket. If they lose this, there's a chance it might start off and lose.
I mean, usually when we look at the beginning of Saturdays when open bracket teams end up playing pool play teams, we sit there and like, oh, these are more the boring matches on Saturday, right? It's not very exciting. So when an open bracket team...
I absolutely love that button control right there.
No, look, I think this is it, boys. I think this is going to be it. That's 206. There's 207. Nimbus, you better be standing up. You better get Nimbus, because that's a big win over Rise Nation. Let's go over there. I said it early on in the stream. Sky's the limit for those boys. That's the team to watch out for in this tournament.
And the upset finally happened here in San Diego. 7-1 Nimbus. So what does this mean for Rise Nation, a team that's under a very good org, and they're falling to up-and-comers such as Nimbus?
Listen, talent is out there, okay? Just because you're a great org, you're a great team, doesn't mean that there aren't up-and-coming teams out there or these aspiring talent that can give you a run for your money. That's what we just saw from Nimbus.
Yeah.
I really like to play there, you know, with the button control, pushing the button to the last second, which wouldn't allow Rise to break or even, cap that E-hill, kept it neutral, and allows them to kind of increase that deficit, and they won on the round. Really, really smart playing. And up against a roster such as Rise Nation, for you to take map 3, with such force, that's absolutely incredible. I'm incredibly impressed, and you know what? I expect great things coming from Nimbus this weekend.
The last 2 maps is round count of 14-4. 14-4.
You know, if I'm Rise, I'm going to go back, and we need to sit down and have a discussion.
If I'm Rise, I'm going to play better.
No, but, okay, yeah, you need to play better, but it's not like you just say, okay, we're going to play better. What are you going to do to get there? Okay, so I want to see them sit down, maybe watch the VOD from earlier today, and just kind of say, hey, guys, you know, these are the opportunities that we had. This is what we need to change going forward.
Look, let's take a look at our maps, though, Belly, because we did see Foundation come out in favor of Lucent. They saw Fable come out and Forge Blitz, but Dam is historically a map that Lucent has played a billion times against Space Station week in and week out in their 2Ks.
I don't want to hear that, though, because when I see the guys on Fable, when they play Dam, let them put down the boom shot, it's going to be explosive. You have Defazio and Flamsy, they love that push. Rep Solid, he loves the static. So
that's something that we're going to see.
Exactly.
Guarantee
I feel like
we're going to see boom shot
might come true now, because Forge Blitz was Lucent's map. The fact that Lucent lost the map that required more teamwork and veteran presence, that's big.
Well, you saw Lucent, they would kind of get a little distracted with Control Tower, right?
Yeah.
They're going up there taking a fight because they're trying to get that sniper for Cougars. But at times, it's not necessarily a position that you need. You need to be defending that home hill or trying to go, you know, for the overextension or even the neutral hill. You saw them kind of get a little distracted with the fights, and that's something that Fable, they were able to capitalize. Fable, I think they have the slaying power in that pit fight when boom shots placed there. I'm confident that it's going to be. I think that Fable, I think they're going to come out on top, but it's the long game. It's going to be how...
Look, everybody's switching to Dirk now. Okay.
No. I stand with my prediction, 2-1. I mean, so far,
okay.
I think Colin and I are doing pretty well. I mean, it's gonna be 2-1 regardless. It's just gonna be whether or not it's gonna go towards Dirk's call or ours.
I know. I just From what I saw from Fable, it's like the teamwork is what made me like the most happy about that entire game.
The isolating of the fights.
Finally, defensive stops coming in.
Yep.
Like when they're fighting from their home hill, they're able to turn things around, which we did not see
At
early
all
on in that
at
game
that
number
point.
1. And then going into this next game, it's just going to be, like you said, on Dam. I think this is a team where, on a map like Dam, depending on where you decide to fight, if you're fighting from pit, that's more of an aggressive play style. It's not really, let me play passive and try to do as much damage. When you're in that pit, everyone's locked in, they're loaded, they're ready to go. It's all just shotgun fights at that point.
They need to remember the pace and take their time.
The pace is in their favor.
Yes. But I mean, I'm talking about in the sense of overextending when you don't need to. There's a time where they went for a triple cap right on round 7. You've got really short respawns. You don't need to go for a triple cap. You have the 2-hill setup. Keep map control, maintain it.
Belly said pace is in their favor right now, but this little bit of a tactical timeout I think going on is to try to cool off the hot burner of Fable Esports. I think what's going to happen right here is Lucent's trying to take their time. They're trying to get their heads together. And I think if I'm one of the leaders on that team, I look at my boys and I say, all right, look, Cougars did everything in the world and a half that he could to keep us in that matchup.
That's just one guy.
Let's go ahead and get the other 4 of us involved. Let's slay out. Let's bang on the boards. Try to get this right.
All I'm saying is that if you're Fable, do not put a long shot down anywhere on this map.
No, the long shot does belong on this map. And the reason why I said the pace is in their favor, okay, we've seen how European teams play. They're not as aggressive as these American teams. And also when they play against a team as aggressive as these open bracket squads, like I said, the pace is going to be in Fable's
Well, the open
favor.
bracket, they're absolutely hungry. I mean, they're carnivorous just coming in here. They are bloodthirsty, and that's something that we saw from them. Now, I think if Lucent, if they're gonna have to slow down the game. That's the only way they're gonna be able to do this. Because Fable, they're gonna fly at them, head down, and if they allow them to do that, Fable will take it. If they take a moment to actually keep and try to dictate the pace and slow things down with the crosses, with the team fires, and try to counteract Fable isolating those fights and kind of with the wolf packing, then I think they can come out on top.
Hey, Belly, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ask you this question because you and I have talked a lot about having to control your lanes, that old school kind of Gears of War style. There's a lot of cover, there's a lot of obstacles in your way on a map like Dam. There's a lot of hop overs, a lot of places where you can be sneaky.
Right.
What do you think it's going to take for a team like Fable to be able to control all those different miniature lanes and make sure that Lucent can't use this map and utilize it?
You don't. You're just gonna have to just overwhelm them because if I'm Fable, I know that Lucent has practiced this map solely because of Space Station Gaming. They play Space Station Gaming on this map every single
And they're
series.
an incredibly aggressive
So
team.
when you get in the habit of always trying to perfect this map against one type of team, you're not used to these looks from Fable. You're not used to these looks from Ghost Gaming. So when you go against the likes of Fable, they're gonna throw something at you that's way more aggressive, way different. Yes, Space Station Gaming has been historically an aggressive team on
You're
that
saying
map.
Fable is potentially more aggressive than Space Station
So
Gaming on this map.
The new
So to
look of these
throw it,
rosters, yes.
If you don't mind, I'm going to throw it in Dirk's wheelhouse. It's almost like Lucent Esports has been preparing for a man-to-man all weekend long. They're about to see a zone, a 2-3, or a box in 1, baby.
All right.
I knew it was going to some point.
The 2K, good to have you back, Dirk. We missed you.
Hey,
Good to have you back.
trading in the virtual basketball for just absolute blood and gore. I love it.
A little bit of change, right?
So if anybody else had to step up except Cougars on this Lucent roster, who do you want to see more from? Personally, I want to see Reaction, the first god of EU. I want to see him step up and really make a name for himself. The one thing that makes Reaction so damn good for this team is that he is one of the most aggressive home hill players on this game.
I think it's almost just Cougars. There were so many times where if he wasn't getting kills with the long shot, he was doing damage almost every time. I think if we were to count our fingers, I think he probably missed 2 shots, but was doing damage. Pair him up with somebody to where he can finish off those kills. If he's doing the damage, congratulations, you're doing what you need to do. But if there's 2 players running towards you, you just got this guy down to 20% HP. Who's there to follow it up? You don't have enough time to pull out your pistol and get it.
Who was with Cougars almost every single initial? Fractures. Fractures was right there. And Fractures was that guy putting out the damage that allowed Cougars. Now, Cougars made some absolute incredible plays, but Cougars is placing himself in the right place at the right time to help people like Fractures, and Fractures is in the right place at the right time to defend Cougars when he needs it.
No, what I think Dirk is getting at is pairing up Cougars with somebody, like making Cougars your spotter. He's going to get that damage. I understand the map, not immediate.
Every single time Cougars ended up getting the long shot in his hand was just because Fractures was up there with him. They would go on the trades, but Cougars is kind of in the backside of things. Okay, you got the damage.
You want to keep Cougars alive.
So it's keeping Cougars alive, which he did an excellent job of doing with the long shot, but it's when those players come up off the respawn, you need to make sure somebody goes back there with him, because it's almost like Cougars is left fighting by himself, just doing as much damage as possible. Everybody else is starting to focus on the home hills or the incinerator by that hill. So if you can get someone at the spawn, just say, hey, you know what, somebody backtrack with me.
I felt like
hitting every shot.
I felt like Fractures kind of took that role a little bit. Do you agree or disagree?
I would say kind of.
I mean, well, okay, so Fractures was there for the initial, but then you'd also see him go and take the fight, you know, in the first half of the map with the B hill, he'd go down, take the fight at B.
Yeah.
But then you would also kind of see him rotate around in the event that Cougars would make that call out and say, hey, I need help. So that way, you want to keep your power weapon player, especially Cougars, who's doing phenomenal. He's going off with a sniper. You want to try to avoid him taking any one-on-one engagements. If you can, you're going to have him pull back. I'm going to push forward. I'm going to take the hits. I'm going to try to dish out as much damage as possible. And I know that over my right shoulder, you're going to be shooting. You're going to hit your shot. Yeah. It's trust, trust, trust. And that's what you get from a roster that's kind of played together for quite some time. But it also comes with practice. You don't just wake up one day and say, like, you know, all right, I like, you're not just going to run out and just run blindly into a fight and maybe your teammate's just not going to be there. You're going to take the fight and you're going to, all right, I know Cougars is there.
Our biggest X factor of this matchup right now, like you were talking about, Belly, is reaction. Reaction has to become kind of the evil overlords. You've got Fractures and Cougars being a little two-man, Zorkos and Physics being a little two-man. Now Reactions has to say, all right, let me be the evil overlord. Let me be the mob boss.
The evil overlord.
He's going to have to tell people where to go, where to be, and make sure he tells he's got to tell his soldiers, I need you in this position at this moment so that we can execute this play.
But they're going to have to be faster than that on this tiebreaker map, and that's why I'm excited that we're going to end the game right here, because the map is small. The initials are going to be everything. So all the
initials are going to be really intense.
Right, failing defensive failures earlier on in map 1 or 2, that's not going to mean anything right now. It's going to be all offense. If you're able to win the initial and wipe the other team clean, you're going to get the easy domination.
I think Lucent is going to have the advantage in the first half.
That's what I was exactly about to say. I think Pumping Station, when it comes down to the retakes and how slow they can play, that's where you give them the benefit. If Fable gets set up, you know Lucent is going to be in a position to break.
Second half is going to be a tough one because it's going to be really close quarters, and I'm going to give Fable the slaying power.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go with our first tiebreaker game of the day on Dam. Colin, Dirk, take it away.
Colin. The open bracket teams seem to be showing out here today. We got Nimbus taking down Rise, and now the possible upset coming out here with Fable going right down to the wire with Lucent here for this game number 3. It's going to be escalation on Dam. It's going to be a good one.
Hey, look, open bracket teams are starting to live by that mantra. Respect everybody, fear nobody, and they are showing it right here, right now.
So that's what we talked about here. Maybe in the first half, this could Fable Lucent, just because what we saw in that game number 1, the setups and their retakes were something played to perfection, and that's where it comes down. If you can slow down your game, that is automatically going in your favor. But now we have Fable, like you said, pedal to the metal every single time, doesn't slow things down. Can that hurt them? Maybe. For those pit fights and over towards Plat, that's where it can be beneficial. For Pumping Station, especially on those retakes, you need to just play a little bit more passive. But right here off the rip, you can see kills going back and forth, but the initial control is going over here towards Fable of C and B.
Yeah, even though Lucent came out with the Hill initial, they lost the initial kills. So now that's going to give a chance for Fable Esports to continue to clean up kills, get on the home hill here of Lucent, and possibly threaten an early triple cap. They're going to get a kill here. But Cougars, he's going to be fighting them off. He's going to say, you got to get out of here, boys. You got to get back to your own side. Let's go ahead and reset this fight. And that's a big kill by Physics on Fnatic. Repsol picking up Fractures, and Physics getting a double kill there on Repsol. So I think right now you need to see a push come out. These 3 members need to collapse on that B hill, whether it's through open, whether it's over a hop over. Get there. Big turn shot by Cougars. I love to see it. And they got it down now. You got to get that clean up as well. You can't let these members tap themselves up. You can't let them get their teammates in position to help them out. I think that's a big aggressive play, and I think that's good.
Cleans up the kill, but now he has more in mind. It's going to be DeFazio. Has a teammate in the back that's going to be Fnatic on the pickup truck, just applying that damage. But now they've smoked him out. This completely opens it up. You've taken away the main damage supply from the side of Fable. Now you've taken out both of them. This is where things can start to get hectic with the shoddy. Exhaust is going to go ahead and roll through the smoke. He's going to be met by the Nasher of Cougars, and the slaying going completely in their favor. Cougars finds another 2 versus 1, and now they're trying to get the triple cap here over towards C. The players applying the pressure straight on up. Fable with their backs against the wall here in round number 1. That is going to be all she wrote here in that first round.
Fable gets the kill advantage and the hill advantage early on. They almost threatened that triple cap, but then the beautiful retake by Lucent. They get a kill here, a down there. They go ahead and clean it up. That's a big-time push out of a team who I thought was going to possibly be able to have to lay down in that first round and just take one on the chin.
So we'll see what the weapon placement's going to be like here. Like you said, we talked about the impact, the long shot in that previous map. Where do you want to go? Do you want to try to force the fight to where you can get nitty-gritty, just completely go towards your play style? But it looks like they've blocked it off up top there for Fable, and that could be, maybe if you're thinking long shot going down the line, if you end up getting it, that's going to be the main spot to put it because you have so much sightline everywhere. But Cougars, 6 kills to his name, only 2 deaths. He was just the man on a mission there. Right when we hopped on board with him, I saw him pick up at least 4 kills.
Level 3 backpack right now. He's putting all four teammates in it, and he says, let's go, boys. I'm not going to let us fall to 1 and 2. I'm going to take us up to 2 and 1.
So we see 2 players going on the walkway for the side of Lucent. Fnatic just a little bit late with that cross rotation coming over here towards a pumping, but now he's going to be joined in the fight, and you can start to see 3 players are now transition going in from mid, but Fracture's going to be able to find the first kill there. Exhaust is going to be the next player to fall, make that 2 for Fractures, as now they do have that B control. They're doing the damage. They have a player tagged as well, but they're doing a good job of just counteracting that aggressive play. They're keeping their foot on the gas, and they're going straight forward. They've been going heavy on these home hills.
Yeah, that's a big kill right there. They get rep solid all the way across the map. They finally down him. They go ahead and clean him up. Fnatic, Flamesy, DeFazio, Exhaust already back off spawn. They're going to have to get set up here. So in the first round, we saw Fable push into the home hill, and they got wiped. They got a retake put on them, and then they lost the round. Now here in round 2, Lucent, instead of going for that early triple cap, trying to put pressure, they back off. They get a setup. They're going to play a little bit of defense. This is a big moment in this game, I think.
This is going to be tough because we talk about the Fable retakes, especially in map number 1, not so much in map number 2, since there really wasn't an area where you can completely hold down. Wasn't very good, so we want to see if we can see that light. Can they try to break these big setups that Lucent Esport holds? They've been able to get into the pumping station, but now they're just trying to deal the damage. The smokes have been out, but now you see DeFazio as well as Rep Solid starting to push up the enemy sight lines, trying to put their backs against the wall, but you see the cross with the Lancer Fire. This one makes Lucent such a great team. DeFazio is going to be able to pick up his teammate up, and that bakes those players inside. They're going to be able to trade at least 1 kill. Another joins in on the action. The entire kill feed, 3 dead. Lucent Esport whole pumping station.
And here he goes. It looks like DeFazio's going to head down, but he's going to get Lancered in the back, and they go ahead and finish him off with the Lancer. A little bit of an insult right there. Not even trying to pick him up. Not going to finish him off with an Asher. Just shooting him in the face while he's on his knees. Here comes Flamesy. He's full red in his truck. They're going to threaten the triple cap for a second. They're going to back off, though, because they died so quickly together, they're going to be coming off as a wolf pack with spawn protection. So I think you back up right here. I don't think you get wiped for this. If you play for damage and you get some downs, it's okay to stay around, but you cannot keep giving up kills. Reaction getting a kill. He's going to go for the revive, and he gets it, and the kill. This is big time by Reaction, playing that evil overlord spot like I talked about.
So here we go. Reaction inside. Almost getting close to that domination. Players need to try to get a touch on in. They did. One player trying to go around, but just look at the spawn timers. The players are so quick to get up that you trying to invest in this triple cap, it might not pay off. But now just with 3 seconds left, somebody needs to get a touch, and they do once more. Cougars in a 1 versus 1 with Fnatic. Cougars comes out on top, but now they're starting to make that homestay, and they get it, but now the round is going to be completely over. 2 in favor of Lucent. And I'm thinking if I'm Fable here, you're not winning a lot of the pumping station fights. If they get that initial control, you're screwed. You need to try to force the fight down towards pit. That's where, honestly, you better do it now before it gets too late.
It's time for a big power weapon to go into the pit side. Go ahead, make a big boy statement right here. Put a boom shot, put a drop shot, put something that changes the complexion of this entire map. We haven't gotten to see yet what they put down. They have already placed their weapon. I'd like to see a little bit of an overhead map here so that I can tell what weapon was put down. There we go. Boom shot in the pit area. That's a big time call for them. That's going to change the entire way this map is played. All 10 members in about a 25-yard radius. So let's see if the damage or the Nasher is what plays the biggest part. 1 member head downing straight into a Nasher, Fractures and Cougars. Fractures getting a double, Zorkos with a 3rd. It's all blue on the scoreboard right now.
And it's like they completely, in a map where it's so close, you don't really expect anybody to be able to sneak their way on through. One player jumped onto Plat, immediately started flanking around, and they just pinched him in towards a pit. Somebody needs to make sure that they're covering that one area. You can't all invest to sit there and say, hey, we're all going to flood in towards a pit, because now you've given up the boom shot to the side of Lucent Esports. Not only that, you've now set them up in a position to try to get the triple cap. 2 boom shots down, 2 kills to go along. That's a quick and easy round for Lucent, but this is just a lapse from Fable.
Hey, look, the smokes come out. It it takes away all the sight lines if you're Fable, and then Fable has a member push up silly. He goes through that smoke, his head is down, he gets double shot and killed, and then Fractures on a great flank gets a second member on the backside of that pit. So if you're Lucent, you continue to feed off this momentum. You can continue to feed off of what you've already established as your game plan, and I think that's the best thing for him. Don't let him get any breathing room. Take this 4th round, go up 4-0. Don't let Fable breathe. You got to put the foot on the throat, foot on the gas, and end it.
So we'll see if they can change anything up here. The shock grenades have actually gone out on both walkways. You can see up there on the top side of your overhead map. We'll see if anybody's going to be able to sneak around again for Lucent. You can already see the Lancers are going to be out just trying to create some damage with the smokes out. Cougars is going to be the player to find first blood again. That's on Flamesy, but Rep Solid, he's going to be able to find one of his own. Picks up the meat shield there of Cougars, but now it's going to be Reactions finding kill. DeFazio finding one, DeFazio finding 2, trying to find the 3rd, jumps over top. That's an easy kill there for Zorko, but things just going back and forth here. Now it's Zorko's isolated in a 2 versus 1 over towards Pit. He is going to drop down. The kills come in. Only 1 player up. That is going to be Cougars from Lucent Esports.
Yeah, they're going to have to flood around this map, though, because not enough members are off spawn for you to be able to get that triple cap. So you might have gotten a wipe on that initial. You might have won the initial on a wipe, but you didn't have enough resources to be able to go and press for a triple cap. So maybe set up in pumping station, maybe get yourself a little bit of a defensive wall set up and make the correct call from here on out.
And it's the man on your screen who can try to make the big play here with a boom shot. That's going to be exhausted. You see him rotating around here towards B. We can see if Fable can get a hold. The first shot grenade is going to go out. That's by Cougars. Now boom shot follows up immediately. That's going to be 1 for 1. One more shot left in the tank here. Is going to fire that one out. Is going to be able to find himself 2. So now that completely shuts down the push from Lucent. One more player to worry about on the walkway. They have their triple cap in mind. They're going for it.
Yeah, look at this. Here comes, he's going to come on a flank off Physics. Physics, he's going to try to shoot him in the back. They get the down, clean it up, go ahead, press the issue. Cougars, the only member for Lucent that can even threaten to break this triple cap. He does get in the hill, and he gets a kill, so that's a big-time play, but I don't think it's going to be enough because Fractures coming off spawn will get set down. So now it's 3-1. There's a little bit of breathing room for Fable. Let's see what Lucent does, though, as their answer, because you block off the pumping station, you get the boom shot and pit, the double shock. So now all you've got is platform and the home hills to press down either a double or possibly another power weapon.
See, that round, how it played out, is what we expected the first time that the boom shot went down. Exactly how it was, but it was a quick round for Lucent. But now they're able to win the initial fight, and especially in an area like Pit, where it's just close quarters, it's just all about the trades every single time. As soon as we read out, hey, so-and-so just killed this guy, it was again. And then when we look over here towards the scoreboard, we look at Flamesy right now, kind of being the man dragging everyone down, so to speak.
Yeah, Flame's the only 1 and 7. He's going to have to try to pick it up, but you got 11 and 7 for Cougars with 4 downs. You're going to see downs, though. Great downs across the board for them. That's what I think has been the biggest issue for this 3-1 lead right now. And Smoke's out, possibly trying to get these kills. Fractures has already been taken out, as well as Physics. So if you're losing, this is where I think you have to back up and try to play a little bit of defense. You cannot let yourself get full wiped.
So here we go. They're able to find 4 kills there. Cougars again, the last player left up. And look how far they've pushed him back, almost all the way towards the spawn area again. And now they're trying to get their home hill. They're going for B, they're going for C. Just 3 seconds away from the domination. That is going to be all she wrote. Back-to-back round wins there for Fable, and the game plan is working out exactly how they envisioned, with forcing the gunfights down over towards Pit.
All right, so here you go. Your last weapon placement I think you're going to have if you want to continue to take control of this first half. You got to go on platform. You got to put something down there. I don't want to see him put something like Incense. I want to see something a little bit more deadly, a little bit heavier. Let's see what they put down right here. That is going to be Incense, though. They're just going for crowd control, just a little area of effect. I thought it was coming. I didn't want to see it happen, but they did do it anyway.
So how impactful that can be if the fight continues and you're able to win the mid-map fight, then get the instance, you immediately just rotate down over there towards Pit. If there's still some players up, you might be able to get the kill before finally somebody picks up that boom shot. So we'll see. Everybody's still flooding straight on inside here, but you can see those top 2 little circles. They're starting to go around. You can see somebody from Lucent going all the way through middle map to try to go down and get the instance, and Cougars does have that. We'll see how much of an impact it can make.
Cougars getting those incense, DeFazio getting Zorkos. There's the first instant kill, but it is red and dead for 4 members of Lucent Esport. Reaction, the last member alive. I don't know if he can do anything whatsoever. He's finally going to get called out. He's going to go on a little bit of an OE right here, trying to make sure that they can't get a triple cap, but so early in this round. Big shots by him. He goes for that last slide and gets shot down. and his hopes and dreams of keeping the round alive will be done with. That'll be 3-3 going into the half, I believe. No, it is not. A little bit of a denied domination there. 4 members back off spawn. So Reactions does get the round to stay alive long enough.
Essentially, when that last player fell, the next one to come out there off the respawn was only just 1 second away. They had only 1 player over towards the home hill of Lucent Esports, and that's a pretty easy gunfight to win if you're all flooding its desperation mode to going through. So now we need to see another offensive display coming in from Fable, and now this isn't towards Pit, but you are in the more close engagement areas what you favor, but now it's going to be a team kill that Repsol takes out Exhausted, and Reaction's going to go in and clean that one up to make them pay, but now they have C control. Smoke's going to be out to try to stun the players on. It forces them off and opens it up, but it's a big 2 versus 2 between these players of Lucent and Fable.
Yeah, and one of them's down now, so let's see if they get the revive. They don't in time, and Fnatic is cleaned up. So here you go. You're down 95-21. This is a big momentum swing right here. If you are Lucent Esports, you have to take control of it. The members are on their long respawns. It is a 5v3. You got to point them out. You got to get these kills right here, right now, if you want to be able to take this round, because I don't think you have the option to just sit around and wait for a 2-hill win. You got to go for a triple, I believe.
So now they have Instants in their control. They also have a pair of shot grenades to work with as well to try to move things around. Hammer Burst is going to be in the hand of Zorkos. A kill does come in with those Instants. That's going to be on Exhausted, but now they're starting to go through back to the middle side of the map. Everyone's preparing for the boom shot to see if they can get it back into their control. But Lucent Esports, they've been able to turn things around. They have the 2 hills, and they've been holding it for a little bit of time already.
And look at this. Both teams have realized that the boom shot's about to be back up, so they've gone ahead and set back up on that pit side. They know what they've got to put down. The shot goes out by Zorkos. He's going to try to close off that area of the pit to come in. Cougars is getting a kill, but he's going to be down, so that's going to be a trade out right there on that platform area. Zorkos moved up to try to help him. He's going to get down. Chain Revive's coming out, though. Fractures might get away with his life. He's going to be in a 2v1. Close quarters combat, but he will not get it. And here comes the Mr. Krabs, though. A possible triple cap because Reaction stuck around. That cannot happen. That's demoralizing. That is a big dagger to the heart of Fable, if you ask me. That makes it 4-2 instead of 3-3 going into half. Oh my goodness, how do you lose a member like Jack Reaction running around the map doing as he pleases?
That's just the call. It's coming from everybody who's down there fighting for pit over towards boom. If you're going to call to them, this is how many bodies they have, this is how much they're investing back into this. If you have somebody who maybe Fable wasn't really keeping track of, who can try to make a flank around, and the only way he could have gone was straight through middle map, or if he decides to go all the way through pumping, we weren't able to see. But I mean, you caught them off guard. They didn't expect you to be on their home hill. They didn't expect the triple cap to come in. By the time that it popped up, you got about 5 seconds to rotate from pit all the way to that home hill. You're never gonna get a chance to actually go in there and eliminate that player. So
now the fight has become completely focused on that side of the map. You've gotten a lot of practice after that boom shot was put down. You're gonna get the hill advantage and the kill advantage here early because 4 are dead. 4 Fable Esports, 5 dead. If this becomes a triple cap, that's an avalanche effect. That's where you lose a round in a very silly way, and then you immediately get it shoved down your throat in a triple cap fashion on the next round, and it looks like that could come out right now. 3 seconds left. Flamesy first into the hill, along with Fnatic. Fnatic cleaned up though. Flamesy, the last man there to try to break that hit triple cap, try to break that defensive wall that Lucent set up. What do you think of that play by Flamesy going around the back of the truck?
I mean, it's perfect in every which way. You've been able to just kind of sit here, pause it for a little bit. You know a player is actually tagging you up, but you're able to sneak away with your life and go around. That's all you need to do, especially in these early rounds. If you're sitting here right now, the spawn timers are so low, you don't want to fully invest and say, let's go for a triple cap. You're spawning all the way in the complete other side of the map. So if you can just waste enough time to where you know you get at least 2 more teammates up, it's perfect. But Reaction's just being a complete nuisance over here going off. Finally, Flamesy's going to be able to shut him down. But here comes the aggression again. This time it's going to be Zorkos working close with his teammates. 3 seconds away from getting the Fazio backs up. That is going to be it for this one. 5 rounds in favor of Lucent.
I know there's no stat on the scoreboard to talk about it, but right now Reaction is being the most annoying player on the map. Every time you don't want him up in your side of the map, he's getting damage, he's getting downs, he's getting kills. He's doing everything to make sure your team cannot set up or get any kind of footing or momentum back in their favor. I love the way he's playing it because he's not getting killed early enough, he's not getting downed early enough. He's just doing everything for his team to make sure that the forces for Fable will continue to be spread thin.
So what we saw in the last time coming from Fable, the actually first thing that they did was block off the top of the pumping station on that weapon placement. But now, here in the first of the second half, they've gone ahead and put the boom shot back down by Pit.
Boom shot already being placed. It'll be the big man weapon. They're going to see if they can continue to build off of that success they found in the 2 rounds that they won in the first half. But if we take a look at the scoreboard, 13, 8, and 10 for Jack. You got 16, 4, and 12 for Cougars. He's the big man, the MVP right now for his team, doing everything, getting kills, getting some downs, and not dying a lot. So those 2 members are a 2-headed dragon playing at the head of Lucent.
That's what they can do here. Smokes are going to be out, so that's going to make the Lancers hard to create any sort of damage. Wait for him to get tagged up just to try to spray through to get it. But it seems like every single time that Boom goes down, it's going to be Fable coming on the top on every single engagement there as well. So now they start to fly. They're going over towards F. Physics is going to be the first player to spawn back up. They got reaction to Cougar at the same time. Not going to be enough. A quick round going in favor of Fable.
Yeah, Fable right there. They get the wipe and they have enough resources to get that triple cap immediately after that. That's a very quick round, but if you're Fable, you got to stand up. You got to get that emotion high. You got to get the good vibes going. If you're Lucent, you just kind of wash that one away. You say, hey, look, they put the boom down. They wiped us on that initial fight. Let's move on to this next round. Let's get back in control of this and go match point.
See what goes down here with the double walkways. Just flipping around, they're going to go ahead and block off the placement over here towards that top plat area.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. They might have wanted to put something at pumping station to try to force a fight over there that they were winning quite handedly in that first half.
I think if maybe one more round goes way Fable, or hopefully if there's 2, they make that adjustment. Say, you know what, we're sure we've only won one of the pit fights when the boom shot has been down. The opening round and a half, they ended up coming out on top. But the fight wasn't directly over here towards pit, but now you're playing in Fable's game. You got to respect that, got to try to make a change. But finally, they draw that first blood. The trades are not going anywhere. They're finding 3 kills in a row, making that all 5 dead on the side of Fable. Boom shots in their hand. They're starting to fly to spread to get all 3 of these hills. You see how close they are to each other. That's another quick little round, and we find ourselves a match point here in game 3.
Yeah, so we're gonna go match point. It is 6 rounds in favor of Lucent. They gotta win one more time. They gotta hit some shots. Right now, you gotta get into a little bit of a huddle if you're Fable. You say, hey guys, what do we gotta put down to adjust this fight? Right there, they just took it to us. They got quick Lancer damage in from the platform area, which caused us to be in some bad positions. They got a good rotation through that smoke. They showed no fear, got some quick kills. Here we go, overkill, opposite side of the map on pumping station. I don't think that is a godsend. I don't think that changes the complexion of this fight though.
So we'll see. You have to win many rounds if you're Fable in a row. It's going to be a tough task to do against a team like Lucent. See if they can bounce back. But you look at Cougars, the work that he put in throughout this entirety of this series. 17 kills, 4 downs, 13 deaths to his name. But we have to keep bringing up Flames. He's currently sitting at just 4 kills and 13 deaths. Really hasn't been able to get in any sort of rhythm. And he's been a guy who's been involved in a lot of the fights over here towards pit, just trying to do some damage.
Yeah, here it comes. The shots are coming out on that pipe side, that little bit of a hop over. Cougars is on the front of the pit. He's going to have some pistol shots in. He almost gets bricked though. And look at this Jack reaction on the other side. He's going to go down. Can Cougars save him or get the cleanup? He is going to get the first. He is going to get the second. They're going to have another wipe. This could be it. I think this is going to be over. Flames, he's going to be the only person all spawn quick enough to have a chance to touch the hill. But that boom shot should be rotating over right now. And I don't see anybody on the home hill for Lucent Esport. Here comes the possible triple cap. First boom shot, not good enough. Physics missing it. He shoots it a little too quickly, so it does not get a kill there on D. That's a big mistake. That's a huge mental mistake right here. You've got to get some kills. Physics trading out with Rep solid there. The boom shot is out of play now.
So usually when we've seen a clean wipe of the Fable players, it's going to be Lucent usually going on to win, but finally we see them start to fight out of their home base and go on through. Now Flames are getting a little bit sneaky here through mid. Gets a little bit of the decap going off and then decides to push forward and force the engagement. Flamesy finding 3, and when you need the guy to pick up the momentum, this is when you need him most. Finding those 3, now he's starting to fly, getting a little bit of a rhythm. They got Cougars isolated over here towards the pickup truck, but there's another teammate, but Cougar shuts it down immediately.
But look at that, they finally get on the board. They finally got 2 hills in their favor. They're gonna get to 10 points finally, but it is a 70-point lead for him, or 60-point lead for him, 75-12.
So we'll see here. You can see on the overhead, the fight getting ready to go back down over here towards the pit. Cougars is up here on the top plat on the E hill, trying to take it back, and they are going to get that. So now it's 2 hills in favor of the side of Lucent. They have DeFazio tagged, and you can see the smokes going out. The player trying to hop up, gets caught in the mid-animation. He's going to end up falling down there. Rep Solid dies, and now more players just getting ready to get up this push. But this is Lucent's bread and butter. They want to sit here and control this pace.
Yeah, Boom Shot's about to come back up. Lucent's going to control the pace. They're going to have the setup. They're going to want to keep control over this pit and plat area because that Boom Shot will come on respawn. And if you get a secondary Boom Shot with the way the point spread is and with the way that you're up in round count, it is going to spell doom. D-O-O-M, baby, if you are Fable. So you got to push through right here. You got to break this setup. Big kill by Cougars on another hop-up player. That's a silly bit of a push. Can Cougars get one more? He does! Putting on the highlight reel. Cougars has not slowed down the entire game.
And Cougars been sitting up in that one spot on top plat the entire time. The first kill in that entire engagement came from Rep Solid trying to do the hop-up. He got caught. He just tried to do it again and got killed by the exact same player in the exact same situation. But now you see here, the cap is coming in over towards D. Boom Shots in the favor reactions as we say that he finds a kill there on Rep Solid. 5 seconds away from victory is Lucent. They win the fight. They can't go on forward, and that's going to be Lucent Esports 7-3 on Dam, and they take the series 2-1.
I'll tell you what, I said it before this match started. You don't play Europeans on Dam. It's their favorite map. I was doubted by the likes of our own glorious host, Veli.
No. It was all Dirk. It was all Dirk. I didn't want Dirk to be alone.